When that morning show starts yapping about something you can't stand, don't reach for the dial. Just press this big red button and BAM!
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Tell you about that, too.
Obscure favorites with more talk.
It's
Keeler in the morning on 95.
I like it.
What are we? 9:50 a.m.
92.3
FM. I like that. Obscure favorites with more talk.
Well, this is as obscure as it gets. Good morning. Good morning. It's Friday, and it's warm in here. I just can't take this heat. I just can't take it. I love it.
Yeah, right. Although
I love it.
We do try to keep it cool in here. Is it blowing hot air?
I don't. It looks like it's cool. I feel like there's air coming, but it's warm in here.
92.3 FM, blowing hot air.
I don't know if you know, but today is Cinco de Junio.
I didn't know that.
On my sheet, it says Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Junio. Steve Houck in studio here this morning as well. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
We have a lot to get to, a lot of stuff happening. Mike Galimi, the mayor of Utica, is on this morning. We'll speak with him. It is a big weekend in Saratoga. It's a big weekend here. We have, what was the event that you guys mentioned? It's, of course, the
Belmont Stakes.
The Belmont.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, the Special Olympics.
Yeah.
And today's the Ride for Missing Children.
Ride for Missing Children. So there are a lot of things happening. So the movies coming out this week that are worth looking at as we head into the summer season. Willy Waffles coming on a little bit. Some things you can stream as well.
I'll be interesting to see what he says. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be interesting to see what he says about Masters of the Universe that came out. He-Man and Skeletor. I grew up on the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, that's one of them. I'm going to ask Nick on YouTube, right in there, what's for breakfast, Jeff?
We're going to start this. Is this going to be a thing?
I believe.
You know what, Nick, I'm glad you're pushing this because maybe what I can do is if I could meal prep so that I'm not, like Beth, when Beth came in Wednesday, she had some rhubarb breakfast cake is what she called it. But there's healthy local nutritional ingredients in there. She's not actually making a cake. I tend to, for breakfast, my go-to is like a McDonald's drive-thru for a sausage, egg, and cheese. If anybody's listening, you want to drop one off. Or I'll drive to one of the local gas stations and get a breakfast sandwich from there, which admittedly is not that healthy. So if I could meal prep, food prep breakfast for the week, it would be to my benefit nutritionally. So maybe Nick is starting something here in a positive way. Although I think he is needling me. Because I was caught on camera stuffing my face with a sandwich the other day.
What are you eating now?
I'm not eating anything. Does it sound like it?
Yeah, that's funny.
So there was Beth brought in a so I was
that was
the rhubarb. Yeah, it was delicious. She called it a rhubarb breakfast cake.
I'm trying hard to follow a diet, and I really that was not anywhere close. But I took a tiny little sliver and
I don't think it was as bad as you think it was.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's really good. It's really well. I mean, healthy. All of those things.
It's not healthy,
but
what's
it's
your
not.
problem? It's because
There's a ton of sugar. There's
I don't think she puts a ton of sugar in there.
There's a lot of sugar in there. Have you ever had rhubarb?
No, it's
Rhubarb
not.
doesn't get sweet.
Right.
Rhubarb gets sweet when we make it sweet. Listen, it was awesome, but it was not diet food. You're eating, you know what? Better than having a ho-ho or a ding-dong. I'll tell you that.
A breakfast sandwich.
Probably even better than that.
Sandwich.
Maybe better than that.
Well, the day before, though, I stopped at one of the two here, and I got something, and it was just off camera. But again, I was caught stuffing my face on the live stream.
We have a bunch to get to. A very interesting story.
Nick, the answer is I have nothing for breakfast.
A very interesting story that I'm going to get into about the medicinal science that we live with today, and what would you do if you found out that you were about to have a child that was going to be born with a serious problem? What do you do? And you know what happens today is sometimes people terminate pregnancies, and there's a big story about that we'll get into coming up in a second. I mentioned the mayor is on today. Davey, this morning we're doing Habaika's free money question of the day. And it's Friday, going into the weekend, and you're saying $3.25. Is that where you're at right now? $325.
If you say so.
And we also have tickets for Fight Night that we could give away. Next week is Fight Night week. Hall of Fame week is the weekend begins next Thursday for the Boxing Hall of Fame.
I'm just in a bad mood today.
Okay, what's your problem? Please tell me you're in a good mood because I have high expectations for you today.
No.
Well, then we're going to have to take the tires off your car and sell them out in the corner.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that. That'll be just fine.
I bit my lip 3 times yesterday, and it hurts.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. Well, listen, you'll get through this.
Hold on. Hang on. You can't see him. Steve's in front of him. Go ahead, Smitty. You were going to say.
It just hurts because I was stupidly trying to rush to finish something yesterday eating, and that's how I bit my lip.
Okay, all right.
And it's all bruised inside.
You have a bit lip that is bruised.
Yes.
Do you think you're going to make it through the day?
Yes, I am. I'm
Okay,
just
good.
whining about it.
All right.
Now, if anybody knows that that's ever happened to them, what often happens is you'll catch your lip or the inside of your cheek. My experience is they come in pairs. Like, I don't know why.
It can be extremely painful.
But there's more to what Smitty.
Let me go to something big. UK security. I don't know if they have been dealing with some real security issues in the UK over the last week or so. They're warning Chinese spies are using social media. What does all of this mean? Let's go to Jonathan Savage to find out, because what goes on over there can always come across the pond pretty easily. Jonathan, good morning. What's going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, the FBI is a co-author of this bulletin from the Five Eyes security services. That's security agencies from the US, the UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. And what they are warning is that the Chinese intelligence agencies have a large-scale operation, and they're using professional networking and recruitment websites such as LinkedIn to identify people with access to sensitive information. They are then posing as headhunters, offering these people the opportunity to apply for jobs as consultants or analysts or in research projects, and using that to get sensitive, non-public information from these individuals in places like the UK and the US.
Interesting. And it's amazing how we've talked so much, whether it be AI or social media, the internet, how these things are such great tools to use for society, yet they become, on the flip side, they get used for nefarious purposes.
Yeah, and part of it comes down, I think, to a lot of human emotions and human characteristics. It's very flattering to have a headhunter come to your LinkedIn profile and say, oh, you are so plugged in, you're so connected, you'd be a great asset to our team, because obviously they're not saying they're Chinese spies, they're posing as members of companies in third countries, and offering money, several $100, several $1,000s per report. And they're not just targeting senior government officials or people who are already spies, for example. They're going after military personnel, academics and researchers, people in think tanks, and even journalists.
Yeah, interesting. And what is interesting is the compliments you talk about. It's all about saying the right things, and I have to say, we think, well, no one would ever target us. They'd have to know A, B, and C. It's amazing the research that goes into this, and I think that AI probably helps speed up the process. Yeah,
it may well do. AI is speeding up everything in every industry right now. But while AI is going to be used as a tool, AI is not going to stop this from happening. It's going to be good old-fashioned human common sense which is going to stop this from happening. And one of the reasons why the FBI and MI5 and others are making this public is because they want to make recruitment efforts more difficult. That no matter what the Chinese services or their proxies are doing, they want to make sure that people are aware and alive to the possibility that not every approach is going to be a genuine one.
Yeah, or is who they say they are on the other side. That's really, really important. Okay, Jonathan, enjoy your afternoon and your weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Jonathan Savage with Fox News Radio. Manaski has an update.
Some sunshine, 52 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 636. Bill, the House has passed a new military aid package for Ukraine, but it faces an uphill battle to make it to President Trump's desk. 18 Republicans joined the Democrats Thursday in passing the measure 226 to 195. The bill would give $1.3 billion in assistance for Ukraine, now fighting a Russian invasion for more than 4 years. President Trump says he'd be honored to meet Iran's supreme leader, quote, if it was to make a deal, end quote. Trump made the comment Thursday while fielding questions from reporters in the Oval Office. This after the Ayatollah's father, the previous leader, was killed by a U.S.-Israeli airstrike at the start of Operation Epic Fury. The New York State Legislature approving a one-year moratorium on data center permits. Advocates say this will give the state some time to lay out rules and plan to make sure the energy grid is protected and utility rates don't skyrocket. Some would argue it's too late. If the measure is signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul, New York would be the first state in the nation to enact a temporary statewide ban on large-scale data centers. The Stanley Cup final now even at 1-1 after 2 games. The Carolina Hurricanes put together a thrilling comeback to erase a late 2-goal deficit, taking down the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 in overtime. The Golden Knights will host the Hurricanes for Game 3 of the series on Saturday. The May jobs report will be out this morning. Most analysts anticipate about 80,000 jobs were added last month, much lower than the 115,000 seen the month prior. And the Marine Corps is retiring the Harrier II fighter jet, capable of taking off and landing vertically without a runway. More than 5,000 people gathered to watch the last U.S. unit fly the aircraft in a sundown ceremony on Wednesday at the Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point in North Carolina. The Harrier has been used in conflicts including Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm in the early 90s and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and more. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 639.
The dry weather continuing and the heat continuing to build in. This morning up a couple, this afternoon up a couple from yesterday. Sunny, I'm just going to say near 90. It might be 88 or 89, but close enough. After midnight tonight, next change. With a chance of a couple of showers, we drop to 65. Now, Saturday, showers are likely. Maybe a thunderstorm toward midday in the afternoon, 85. Still a chance of showers early Sunday. Cloudy, dry afternoon, 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidget, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have sunshine and 52 degrees, Bill.
Here's what we'll talk about here. I think is, I realize if you're, depending on where you are on this issue, this would be an easy choice. But for some, there may be a debate going on here. YouTuber Jesse Ridgway and his wife Ashley had revealed online that they were pregnant, that she was going to have a baby. But here's the quote: "This week, my wife and I made the very difficult decision to terminate the pregnancy due to trisomy 21, which is known as Down syndrome, a genetic condition where a person is born with an extra chromosome. The chances were high that this would be the case with their unborn baby. So early on in the pregnancy, they have terminated the pregnancy. It has caused quite a storm. What are your thoughts? Where do you land on this one?"
Oh, you think I'm going to dive in?
You're going to dive in
on this
yeah.
one? No, I would be happy to read other folks' comments, but I don't know that I'm.
Steve Houck, where do you? I mean, if you're anti-abortion,
You're anti-abortion.
Everybody's anti. I would assume everybody's anti-abortion. If you are vehemently against and you're pro-choice, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, before we came
pro-life.
on and you teased us in the studio about this story, I thought you were going to talk about some deadly disease that the child will never live to past, say, the age of 5 or something like that. That's what I thought you were talking about. I didn't realize you were talking about something like Down syndrome. And I mean, that's something you can live with and be very happy and actually. I know.
And the difficulty is there are parents right now with children who have Down syndrome, who have been born with Down syndrome, and they love that child.
Of course.
And they will. But this is a chance to say this is about to happen. And do we want to put the child through that? And do we terminate it well within the boundaries of a legal abortion? Do you terminate it before the fetus develops to the point where it could not be aborted, or do you go through it and deal with what you have to deal with?
Personally, given that scenario, I would not want to terminate that.
Yeah,
If you had, I think I look at it as if you had something that could potentially cause the risk the life of the mother or the child is not. The doctors tell you the child's never going to live past the age of 2 or 3. I guess maybe it would be a different conversation.
Yeah.
But something like Down syndrome, of course not. In fact, a good friend of mine, their child is Down syndrome, and she's a wonderful child, beautiful kid.
That's the unfair argument of this. Is that you say, well, I have a friend who is a child, is a wonderful child, Down
beautiful
syndrome.
Kid. Yeah.
That's kind of the unfair argument there, and that is because this is at the point where they learn this. When you're talking about, again, depending on where you are, pro-life, pro-choice, where you're dealing with organism, not necessarily a heartbeat. And I know there's somebody yelling at the radio right now. Depending on where you are, no one is saying that a child who has Down syndrome is not worth. That's where this becomes very complicated.
I don't know.
And in their case, they terminated, and it happens. This does happen a lot today. They went public with it, though. You think they went public because they knew they were going to get clicks?
Well, I would hope not.
Well, they're YouTubers. The answer to that is yes. And here we are talking about it. So,
right.
Think about it. 315-736-0186. Feel free to comment on the web.
Can I just say, I think that, it's one thing to make the decision based on that. It's another thing based on this diagnosis. It's another thing to make a decision like that thinking we can exploit this for revenue online.
Well, that's
a different level of depravity.
Yes, that becomes, I think more would agree, that's pretty bad, right? Wow. And I'm just assuming that's what they've done because they're YouTubers and because there's a whole story about it and because we're talking about it right now. 643, Willie Waffle coming up in a second. You want to comment on it? 315-736-0186 or do so on you have many choices on the app. You can download the app absolutely free. Just search WIBX 950, Google Play, and in the App Store. And then, of course, you can comment by checking out YouTube, where you'll see almost exactly what's going on in studio. I say almost because when Jeff eats, sometimes he hides it from you. So almost everything can be seen. And you can comment there on YouTube as well. It's 644. You have a graduation party coming up. The cards are coming in, right? You're getting the cards in your mailbox. And then, of course, there are those people that are like, I'm inviting everyone to come to our graduation party, and I'm so excited, which is why we put the invitation here on Facebook. I'm of the belief that if you don't spend the 50 cents for a stamp. What is a stamp today?
I think it's
like $7, like $7 or something.
$80 to mail an invitation.
It's in the 70s, isn't it?
If you're not willing to spend the money on that, then
82 cents effective July 12th.
Wow. Then I'm probably not willing to bring or send a check. I'm not a Facebook person. I don't know how people expect us to see there's a graduation party and show up for it when it's on Facebook. I don't. You?
Well,
that's a whole other thing to get into. But
I've been invited to like some family events through there.
And we're not talking.
I wasn't aware that I was invited. After the fact, I was like, "What do you mean you had a party?
We put it on
Facebook.
We put it on Facebook. You should have seen it."
No, I got an invite to because you can have an event page,
yes,
and then you will get essentially an invite. But to my recollection, it comes across as a typical notification,
right.
as opposed
You're
to
not going to see it.
Steve liked your photo,
stuff
like that. So
whereas
I never
if it comes
saw it.
in your mailbox, you're gonna see it, and you're going to be like, okay,
oh, what's this?
Yeah,
you open it up.
All right.
Yeah.
In events,
it goes on your fridge,
and with the algorithm. But like events, like let's say you've got a charity event coming up 3 months from now. People post it. Eventually, over the next 3 months, you're probably going to see it.
Yes.
But a graduation party, they might post 3-4 days before the party. You're never going to see it in your algorithm. It's just never going to happen.
Yeah, and even if they do it months before, I'm not seeing it. My wife might catch it, and then I say, this is how the conversation goes. I would then say, well, if they're not willing to mail it to us, then we're not willing to go. That's just my belief. And it's a lot of work, right? You got to get everybody's mailing address. Then you have to send thank you cards afterwards versus, hey, everyone, thank you so much for all the gifts. I posted it on
But
Facebook.
how do you plan for the food? Because
I know.
Because I mean, how many events have you gone to where you actually click the RSVP button in Facebook? Very few people do that. It's like, oh, okay, you write it down. Whereas if you're doing invitation, you're gonna set. So how do you plan for food if you're holding a party?
A text message that says, "I'm coming." Hey, it's me and the kids. Or
no
something.
matter what, the way to plan to have enough food is itsautica.com.
Of course.
Oh, wow.
It's a Utica thing, restaurant and bar. How did we swoop right into this one?
This morning.
Whoa,
Amazing.
just like an expert.
They offer catering, and it's really, really good. Have your party catered by It's a Utica Thing with the best in Italian foods, pastas, salads, chicken riggies, greens, tomato pie, and more. You call up the DeGristinas and say, wait a minute, we need more food. 5 more people said yes on Facebook. And you'll always have enough food, I can promise you, with It's a Utica Thing. Call 315-738-8946. Or go to itsautica.com, and online you'll find you'll find their catering menu.
And if you enjoy so much food, because It's a Utica Thing's food is phenomenal, I will definitely attest to that. But if you've eaten so much, your belly sticks out and you can't sit behind the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Call Manaski's Limousine Service for a ride home from that graduation party.
Yeah, for a nominal fee. He'll bring you home.
Guaranteed he'll have snacks in the car.
And with Father's Day, yes, under the dash, you won't be able to see him eat it, but he'll definitely be eating. Father's Day, listen, it does change over the years as your kids get older. Those hand-drawn cards, burnt toast for breakfast, maybe turn into a tie that you will wear out of decency because you are a dad. But that's Father's Day. And then, of course, there's keeping your family safe and warm and taken care of. New York Sash reminds you that their windows, doors, bath remodel, all of those could be a great idea for Father's Day because during their Father's Day sale, they're offering 20% off windows, baths, and doors. Plus, if you stop into the New York Sash Idea and Design Center and schedule a home improvement project, you get a free Ring video doorbell just for scheduling the project. No purchase is necessary, so it's a win-win just by walking in. Stop in and talk with them. It's Father's Day. Skip the necktie. Think about home improvement with New York Sash. 20% off for Father's Day. Go to NewYorkSash.com or visit them at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. Willie Waffle is coming right up.
There's never been a better time to buy the commercial mower that has your back, Ferris. For a limited time, your Ferris dealer, Clinton Tractor, has the best financing offers of the year. Choose the offer that works best for you, 36 or 60 months. There are even options to skip payments when work is slow. It's never been easier to buy a Ferris. So visit Clinton Tractor today on Meadow Street in Clinton. Ferris, experience suspension, all loans subject to credit approval.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. You can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. Spain is currently trading at over 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out $580 if they win soccer's biggest prize. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TURF to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service. Family owned and operated since 1980, Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, nursing is more than a career. It's a calling.
I just love the family environment. Everyone's so helpful, so encouraging. Everyone here is amazing.
Whether you're starting your journey or ready to grow, MVHS offers competitive pay, career development, and a place to belong.
Everybody wants you to succeed, and I feel like the patients and families also feel that as well. My team helps me grow here.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours. At Mohawk Valley Health System, we're investing in nurses like never before.
Working at the Wynn Hospital in the OR has given me the opportunity to not only enhance my critical thinking skills, but also my autonomy.
With competitive new rates, career development programs, and a culture built on support.
I love the team that I work with on the 7th floor.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I'm not just part of a team, I'm part of a family.
You'll grow your nursing career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunities.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I can find my niche and grow.
Change lives, starting with yours.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
On the line right now is our man Willie Waffle, who is the guru when it comes to everything that is everything that's in the movie theater and streaming. And boy, it's a crowded field. Willie, good morning.
Well, good morning. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff going on this week. I mean, from streaming to movies to 60 Minutes correspondents trying to get fired. I mean, it's been a wild week, man.
I do enjoy. I was listening to commentary yesterday, and they're like, he shouldn't be surprised. He deserved to get fired. Okay, hello. He knew he was going to get fired. Believe me, he wouldn't have said what he said. But he wanted to go out and take a stance. I keep hearing about how he was such a terrible guy and all that, but I give him credit for standing up for what they believe in, independent journalism. So, but you would expect me to fall on that side of it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember sitting there, and for people who maybe aren't familiar, Scott Pelley from CBS News, who was a correspondent on 60 Minutes until Monday morning when he ripped into his new boss, told him he was unqualified to get the job, ripped the network, ripped the head of news, Barry Weiss. I mean, he went out in a blaze of glory in about 15 minutes.
And for me,
all I could think was he wanted out of his contract.
That's exactly
right. He had a year left. He had a year left. I'm like, That dude wants out. He has just come up with a nuclear plan to do so, and he is going to be gone.
I mean, this conversation never happened. Okay, I can promise you. Wait a minute. You're firing me? Right? That never happened. Or maybe it did, but it was sarcastic.
Was that wrong?
Did I do something wrong here? Have I done something to offend you? Yeah. So, listen, I'll tell you this. There have been too many changes at 60 Minutes. My first problem was long before this, when it was the cigarette company that and CBS came in and they held back a story on whether or not cigarettes or the companies knew that cigarettes cause cancer. That was the first flaw for 60 Minutes, in my opinion, and that happened long before this. But this latest stuff where stories are being pulled because they're not, quote, fair to Donald Trump or whatever, and you're getting management interfering in the and the journalism part of this. I've just lost all interest in 60 Minutes. I think it's a dead program now. Sadly, it was a number one program on television for years.
Oh, yeah, it totally was. And it still is fairly well rated.
Yeah.
But I think 60 Minutes as we know it is not going to exist anymore.
Yeah.
I think right now that they're trying to figure out if any of the correspondents want to stay. It may be a complete reboot in the fall and be a different show than what you've seen in the past.
I read that Joe Rogan is being considered.
That's what I was going to say. I heard they're thinking about Joe Rogan. If there was ever a signal
60
that your
Minutes.
show is
get out of
changing-
here.
Oh, honest to God.
No.
Well, I think Willie's right. We're talking about, we don't know if the thought is a complete reboot. Like, instead of seeing the clock go tick, 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 they'll use like a digital clock. That would be like groundbreaking. Like, oh my God, they went with a digital clock. They're talking about making, Willie, sweeping. And Joe Rogan would be a sweeping change, I would think. Yeah. All right, interesting. We'll see where that goes. In fact, my wife is loving this because she not only, it's to the point where she hates the sound of the ticking. The minute she hears anything ticking, she's like, "Oh, great, that show again." I'm like, "No, it's just a clock. It's the clock's loud today." It's gone. I think the program is gone. So we'll see. And then Clint Eastwood retiring. Apparently, he's 96 years old.
He is not, just had his birthday May 31st, and that's what kind of spurred this. So his son, who's a composer who's worked with Clint on many of his movies, did this interview like a few months ago, and nobody kind of noticed it. And he said, listen, after Juror number 2, which is the last movie Eastwood did a couple years ago, which is actually a pretty good movie, didn't get a lot of play in theaters, he said, yeah, Dad retired. And nobody picked up on this until just like last week.
Wow. We're way behind here, Willie, and I apologize. Okay. I'm working quickly through this stuff. One more, Euphoria. That's something my wife watches. They surprised every fan of that show, which that's that's an dramatic, to say the least, program. No one knew that was going to be the last episode ever, and it is.
Yeah, so Sunday was the finale of season 3, and people who watch the show know there were some major things that happened in season 3.
Yeah.
And shortly afterwards, HBO and the producer of the show said, that's actually the series finale. The reality is they had a lot of stars who became super big stars from that show. Sydney Sweeney, Jacob Elordi, Zendaya, and they were never going to get those three together. I was shocked they got those three together for season 3. I think they were all contractually obligated. That was the only reason it happened.
All right,
they know they can't. They can't. So.
Lightning round. Scary movie in theaters. Lightning.
Yeah, I would say the only people in my theater who really enjoyed Scary Movie were the ones that had kind of the wacky odor coming from their area.
They were high.
You know what I mean? It was not good. It was horrible. Half a waffle.
Masters of the Universe. Davey is wondering.
I think a little bit of a throwback, maybe some nostalgia for people who watch the cartoon, but kind of just it really, the pace gets slower and slower as the movie goes along, and you're just waiting for the excitement. I'm at 1.5 waffles.
Wow. And then Michael Jackson, the one you want to see, The Verdict. This tells the whole story. It's on Netflix. Quickly, your thoughts.
I'm at 3.5 waffles. It is a documentary about the 2005 child molestation trial of Michael Jackson. And then, gives you a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff.
And then finally, starting today, you've not seen these, Cape Fear and Office Romance, Apple Plus, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix. Willie, thank you. Sorry, the weekend. Sorry.
From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
They burned the midnight oil and then some. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Senators were up all night working on a contentious funding bill, and just before 5 o'clock this morning, a 52-47 final vote.
This bill, as amended, is passed.
It's Republicans cheering because no Democrats supported this legislation, providing nearly $70 billion for Border Patrol and Immigration and Customs Enforcement through 2029. They call ICE out of control and want reforms, but the bill passed using a reconciliation process they could not block. Some amendments to the bill failed, including an attempt for Congress to block a nearly $1.8 billion fund the Trump administration set up to pay those who claim they were politically targeted by the Biden Justice Department. But the acting attorney general, after pushback from Republicans and Democrats, now says that fund will not be set up. The Senate bill also does not include $1 billion in security for the controversial White House ballroom. President Trump says is privately funded and posted late last night on Truth Social is vital for national security, but there's a court hearing today challenging him.
A lower court judge had ordered that construction on the new ballroom stop. Judge Richard Leon agreed with the National Trust for Historic Preservation, which had sued, saying the changes require congressional approval. But a 3-judge appellate panel allowed construction to move forward through at least early June when they hear arguments. The deputy director of the Secret Service has filed documents explaining that stopping this project could put lives in danger.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Still no deal to the U.S. conflict, and with Iran ending, President Trump says the goal remains to stop Iran from having a nuclear weapon.
We're going to win on paper, or we're going to win military. One way or the other.
Now, at the moment, there are doubts over a potential peace deal. Israeli forces and the Iranian-backed militant group Hezbollah continue to exchange strikes, despite Israel and Lebanon agreeing to a ceasefire. Hezbollah has rejected the latest deal, saying it's humiliating and is demanding all Israeli troops retreat from Lebanon.
Jeff Paul in Dubai. America's listening to Fox News.
Larry Older here. I think a lot of people just accept pain like this is just how it is now. I don't think that has to be true. Let me tell you about George. He's up in Oregon, works 10-hour days, driving a garbage truck, in and out all day. It really did a number on his knee. He said it got so bad he couldn't even bend it. Now think about that. Trying to work, take care of your family, and your body just isn't cooperating. Well, George tried Relief Factor, and this is what got me. He said, I can bend my knee again with very little pain. Simple, but when you get something like that back, it matters. My brother Kirk had difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning until he followed my advice. After about a week, he calls and says, this stuff is working. If you're dealing with aches and pains, see if Relief Factor works for you. It's drug-free with a 3-week quick start for just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com, that's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF. You don't have to just accept living with pain.
President Trump will hit the road today, going to Wisconsin to tout tax cuts. This as the president pushes back on the pushback he's getting for his latest appointment.
Including from some Republicans that Bill Pulte is not qualified to serve as the Director of National Intelligence.
Well, he's very smart. He's a person who's got high integrity.
Pulte, who leads the Federal Housing Finance Agency, was named acting DNI this week, but the president says he does not intend to make the appointment permanent.
It's short term, but he may be very effective for a short period of time.
President Trump told reporters Pulte could find out some things about rigged elections at the White House. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
We'll get a big update to the economy next hour. The monthly hiring report that is expected to show a slowdown from April, with economists predicting about 85,000 jobs created in May, and they forecast the unemployment rate stayed the same at 4.3%. As Wall Street awaits the numbers, stocks futures are mixed up for the Dow, down for the NASDAQ, same as yesterday when the Dow surged more than 800 points to a record high, but the NASDAQ went down slightly. In the fight for hockey's Stanley Cup,
high drama with Vegas up 2-0 entering the third period. Carolina scored 2 goals to tie it. And then the captains for both teams traded goals of their own to send the game to overtime, tied 3-3. But in the end, Carolina emerged victorious.
Costas Baird. They score! Seth Jarvis quiets the critics and ignites the crowd.
The call on ABC, Seth Jarvis with the game-winning goal as the Hurricanes win it 4-3 to tie the series at a game apiece. Tony Genualdo, Fox News.
The Golden Knights will host Game 3 of the NHL Stanley Cup Final in Vegas tomorrow night, while the NBA Finals resume tonight in San Antonio. The New York Knicks beat the Spurs in the opener. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Some sunshine, 55 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 7:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says a 16-year-old male has been charged with 2 hate crime offenses after an investigation conducted by the Sheriff's Office Juvenile Aid Unit. This after 2 Madison Oneida BOCES administrators contacted the Sheriff's Office with each reporting a separate course of conduct by the teen, where slurs were communicated to them both in person and through messages sent to their respective work emails. The juvenile, whose name is not being released due to his age, was charged with harassment in the 1st degree as a hate crime and stalking in the 4th degree as a hate crime. Both are Class A misdemeanors. The juvenile was issued a parent's tickets, referring him to Oneida County Probation, and then was released to a parent. Cyclists preparing for the annual Ride for Missing Children to begin this morning. Organizers say there are more than 150 riders taking the 80-mile journey with stops at local schools. Of course, the focus of the event is to raise awareness of child safety and generate money to help track down missing children. For the 3rd and final time this year, the Belmont Stakes will run tomorrow at Saratoga Racecourse. Did I say for the 3rd and final time? Not this year. For the 3rd and final year, the Belmont Stakes will run tomorrow at Saratoga Racecourse. The race highlighted by the return of Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo, who is trained by Saratoga Springs native Sherry DeVoe. Other contenders include Chief Wallaby, Power Shift, Commandment, plus morning line favorite Renegade. Post time for the 158th Belmont Stakes is just after 7 p.m. tomorrow. It airs nationally on Fox. Boy, I'm struggling with this update here. The average cost for a gallon of gas in central New York is coming down a bit. AAA says it's now at $4.53. That's down 3 cents in the past week. It is, though, 13 cents higher than we were paying 1 month ago. It's a whopping $1.48 more than this time 1 year ago. And the New York State Legislature is approving a 1-year moratorium on data center permits. Advocates say this will give the state more time to lay out rules and plan to make sure that the energy grid is protected and utility rates don't skyrocket. If the measure is signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul, New York would become the first state in the nation to enact a temporary statewide ban on large-scale data centers. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
A dry weather continuing and the heat continuing to build in. This morning up a couple, this afternoon up a couple from yesterday. Sunny, I'm just going to say near 90. It might be 88 or 89, but close enough. After midnight tonight, next change. With the chance of a couple of showers, we drop to 65. Now, Saturday, showers are likely. Maybe a thunderstorm toward midday in the afternoon, 85. Still a chance of showers early Sunday. Cloudy, dry afternoon, 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidget, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now we have 55 degrees and some sunshine at 7:09. All right, Stanley Cup final game 2 goes to the Carolina Hurricanes. They rallied from a late 2-goal deficit in the third period to win it in overtime. Seth Jarvis gets the game winner. The series now tied 1-1. The series will shift to Vegas. The Golden Knights host the Hurricanes for game 3 on Saturday. The Knicks in San Antonio to take on Wemby and the Spurs for game 2 tonight. The Knicks pulled an upset victory in game 1, overcoming a 14-point deficit, including a 13-point deficit in the third quarter for the comeback victory. Jalen Brunson had 30 points. Let's go Knicks. Baseball action. The Yankees salvaged the series finale against the Guardians. Ryan McMahon drove in the go-ahead RBI with a single in the bottom of the 7th. The Yankees have snapped a 2-game slide. They will host the Boston Red Sox for a 3-game series starting tonight.
There's going to be a familiar face in the game on Monday back at Madison Square Garden. President Trump is going to be sitting courtside. He was invited by James Dolan, and he accepted yesterday.
Interesting.
You know, I thought they played on Sunday. It's actually Monday because I thought it would be Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So it's Monday's game 3 in New York.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. I don't know why they. I guess it is true in the NHL they do incorporate the extra day for travel. But why not have a Sunday night game? You got it on a work night. I guess Sunday night's a work night anyway, but whatever. The Yankees, I started saying this, we're going to be without Aaron Judge for at least a month. He's got a stress fracture of his first rib on his right side. He's set to undergo imaging in 4 to 6 weeks to determine his level of healing. The expectation is he will return this season, but it is also possible that he won't. The Mets were off on Thursday. They open up a series tonight in San Diego against the Padres. The Mets coming off a series loss where they dropped 2 out of 3 to the Seattle Mariners. Oh, and congratulations again, because they picked up more victories and continue to pursue this state title. Both New Hartford and Notre Dame picked up wins yesterday, and they were significant. Notre Dame winning 7-2, New Hartford 15-2.
Did Oriskany not play?
No. Oriskany, and matter of fact, all 3 of them, New Hartford, Notre Dame, and Oriskany, will all play tomorrow. But they're all at different locations. One's in Amsterdam, one's in Guilderland, the other at St. Lawrence University. So we wish all 3 of them good luck. And I don't have the schedule in front of me. I'll grab it here with the New Hartford girls softball team. I don't know if they play this weekend or not.
So I will tell you that the Special Olympics get underway today, and we'll get into that schedule, but the opening ceremonies will be today. And that's big. The Ride for Missing Children, be on the lookout there, as the riders will be making their way through the area, especially tonight when they come back through, but they will be stopping through the day at a number of the local schools and giving that message, really the message that our lives all changed, right? Everything changed after the abduction of Sarah Ann Wood. The world changed as we know it around here. We'll get into all that coming up in a second. Hobica's Free Money Question coming up right around 7:35. And on the line, 325 and tickets to see Fight Night, which is a week from tonight at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino for the induction ceremonies of the Boxing Hall of Fame. All right, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. If you're in need of a new doctor, maybe you're not happy, maybe your doctor is retiring, they just added Dr. Sharon Mattern, who is awesome and accepting new patients right now, along with Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shamileski, Dr. Kosminski, all under one roof, taking the osteopathic approach to your health. But this is beyond all of that. I have to say that today it's so often you have an appointment at 2 o'clock and you get in to see the doctor at 4 or 3:30 and you're sitting and waiting. And even when you do get in, you see someone else and you just barely get to see the doctor. They're so filled with paperwork and everything else that the insurance company issues. And a lot of times these other clinics are not allowing for the doctor to spend any time with the patient. That is not the case at the Falcon Clinic. They reserve a solid amount of time for you to be diagnosed and to be with your doctor. That's the Falcon Clinic. What a concept. Call today and schedule an appointment at 315-507-4751.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Step away from the screen and into something real at the 2026 Glimmerglass Festival, where summer comes alive with the finest in opera and musical theater just minutes from Cooperstown.
The Glimmerglass Festival is a world-class summer celebration of the arts overlooking beautiful Otsego Lake, making it an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
This year's festival runs July 10th through August 17th and explores our American journey through iconic musical theater and beloved opera classics. A gripping story of forbidden love, political intrigue and yearning, Fellow Travelers is one of the most talked about new American operas of the past decade.
The Glimmerglass Festival. No filters, no algorithms, just unforgettable performances and a perfect summer's day by the lake with world-class opera and musical theater just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
Experience live music, live voices, and live storytelling. No scrolling required. Visit glimmerglass.org to purchase tickets and learn more. Then put down the phone, close the laptop, and join us for real connections at the festival.
And now, Babbel proudly presents The Cat Chat.
Bonjour, monsieur. Yes, hi. I'm staying in room 22, and I was wondering if there was anyone I could chat with about my sheets. They seem to be making me just really itchy.
Pardon, vous avez dit chat?
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I just want to chat with maybe like the cleaning service, see which detergent they use. Just a chat.
Chat.
Please, I'm so itchy.
Un instant, s'il vous plaît. Mathis, j'ai un client qui demande un chat.
Oh, my goodness. I thank you. It's just a chat, really just a...
Voilà.
What?
Sir, you requested a cat to scratch you.
Traveling mistakes can really be absurd. Learn to speak like the locals with Babbel, and no one will mistake your chat for a cat.
Sir, please. Your cat.
Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to get up to 50% off. BABBEL.com.
Get a smile for every season at Rosansky Family Dentistry. For crowns to veneers, we'll keep you smiling all year long. We're also excited to welcome Dr. Kutaria to our team. With her arrival, we now offer Friday appointments from 8 a.m. to noon, giving you more flexibility for the care you need. Call us today at 315-732-1981 to schedule your visit. That's Rosansky Family Dentistry, 1 Paris Road, New Hartford. Find us on Facebook or online at uticasmiles.com.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Mattress Express, upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, is giving away prepaid Visa cards up to $1,000 on select king and queen sets, and we beat any locally advertised price on a mattress we carry. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Start your Sunday with a smarter take on the week that was and the week ahead. It's This Weekend with Gordon Deal, bringing you news analysis, fresh perspectives, and stories that matter most. From business and politics to lifestyle and culture, Gordon Deal keeps you informed and ready for the days ahead. Tune in Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. This Weekend with Gordon Deal, your weekend informed. That's Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I got a bunch to get into here, and some updates that we can give you what we can give you. First of all, the Summer Games getting underway for the Special Olympics. Everything begins today, really at 1 o'clock for check-in. All of this will be happening at Utica University today, and the opening ceremonies will be tonight at Utica University at 8 p.m. when the torch will come in. and the ceremonies will open up. And then Saturday and Sunday, everything, all the events continue. It'll be happening at the following sites: Utica University, at Hamilton College, City of Utica Tennis Center, Mohawk Valley Community College, and as well as many different venues at Utica University, as we said. But events will be happening today, tomorrow, and Sunday for the Special Olympics. Manansky has comments.
I do.
Do you or do you?
Steve, looks like you've been mowing some lawns with that tan. That's what they're saying.
You want me to tell you how I got this tan? I drove back from New York City yesterday with the top open in my car, and I got sunburned on the way back. So,
Are you? I can't. I have even struggled with the sunroof open, because if you want to go on the phone, there's such noise in the background. I think.
Yeah.
I
agree.
especially on the thruway.
Especially on the thruway.
Let's see here. Somebody chastising one of our listeners about their allegiance to Trump. There's also some comments here about Trump's support falling off dramatically, both left and right. I don't know that he had a ton of support on the left, that's for sure. But some interesting comments here. I encourage people to go read them. There's also a sidebar conversation about the fractured rib and how Aaron Judge suffered that.
So he may be, I mean, they're saying, 4 to 6 weeks right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember the last time Judge wasn't in the lineup? The Yankees struggled. Remember last year?
Yeah.
I wonder if that happens again.
Yeah, I think it probably will.
I wonder who he gives
he's
he's
an MVP. I mean, almost every
yeah.
season he's up in the top 3.
And I got to say that Soto Soto's having a really good year. And even though the Mets are not necessarily, although I still have hope. I think June could be the month. I'm just saying. But Soto's having a good year.
I was happy to see him at the Grand Slam last week.
That was big.
They're still in a funk. Their offense isn't
no doubt
where it should be.
What the Mets need is they got to get on a run. There's no season if they don't get on a run of like 10 wins in a row. 8, maybe 8-2 or something like that. They got it, and then they got to follow that up with with like a 7-3.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to start winning. You can have a 3-game series, but you can't win 1 out of 3 games. You got to win at least 2 out of 3 and sweep some. That's how the Mets will turn things around.
Yeah, no question. I mean, look, and the Braves who are leading the division are
so profound, wasn't it?
I know.
It was amazing. All you got to do is just win games. That's all.
Games. The key to their success is going to be winning games. Now, write that down. Someone's going to quote it.
Or they got to have really great pitching and a lot of hitting. That would be good. That would be a good.
And add the defense.
That's true.
There is a cheat code for winning games.
And it is.
It is if you score more runs than the other team.
I've heard this.
Almost every time.
FAN is calling, Jeff.
Smitty, where'd you get the coffee? I thought I didn't have any more coffee. Smitty just came in and brought me a freshly brewed coffee. Thank you, buddy.
Davey, I'd love to
obviously need it.
Davey, I'd love to hear what you have to say. So now we've got Stanton's out injured. Now Judge. Who gets a choice? Who gets the option for the Yankees? Who gets called up? Who's going to get a spot?
They're saying Spencer Jones is going to be coming back
big
up.
Kid. How tall is he?
Over 6 foot.
Oh, he's much bigger than that. I think he's like Judge height.
Oh yeah, 6'7", 6'8".
Big kid.
Yeah,
big kid.
Well, he came up before and he didn't do too well, but maybe a second time.
Bill, I don't know if you know him. He's got the strangest address to the ball.
Is he a Yankee?
He's a Yankee. He's got
no idea.
He's a big, massive kid. Judge stands up very tall.
Yes.
This kid bends over like he's 5 foot tall. And then right before he swings, he stands up. It's the strangest.
Yeah, I think I have seen him. I have seen him.
But somebody's got to step up. You got your 2 big bomb hitters are gone.
Yeah. My guess is the Yankees will be just fine. I just have that feeling.
What is he, Spencer? What?
Spencer Jones.
Jones. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna check out this batting style.
This weekend is everything going on in Saratoga. This, from what I understand, we have some family members that are staying at the Turning Stone, and they're going 2 days, the today and tomorrow, to Saratoga, and they're spending the 3 days at the Turning Stone.
God bless
because
them.
they could not find a hotel room in Albany or out there at all. What a boon for the Saratoga region having this 2 years in a row.
And if
3
years,
right? This is the third year.
And if they're into gambling on top of horse racing, they're staying at a great place.
They are, right? And then they're going to Saratoga where you can, gamble as well. But and then, of course, later in the summer will be the Saratoga races, and really through the whole summer, but the big one. So this has been really good for Saratoga.
Yeah, and listen, and if they're traveling through Utica to get there, you can always gamble on the way with if you're carpooling,
Yeah, that's right.
We'll talk
That's
with
right.
Mayor Galimi coming up this morning, but you can make a wager like, I bet this pothole rips a tire off.
That's right.
I bet you $50.
We'll get into that bet with the mayor. They're going to love it. Here's a few stories that I have found somewhat interesting. For a server at Georgia Olive Garden, BS stands for more than breadsticks. And this is the story. The mother of this server goes on to say for almost 8 months, it ends with a picture of the receipt. And not only does it say $700, the customer wrote underneath $700. He was contacted and claims his credit card shows a charge of only $38. He expected to see the $700 on it. They don't know what's going on, and he ends up getting fired. Here is there's some confusion in this story. I can tell because I sound confusing. Here's the story.
She received a $700 tip on a $30 tab from a regular customer that hadn't been in a while. She didn't notice it until after he left. When she took it to the manager told her to put 0 in the tab because that was just too much money to hand out. Clearly, she was upset. Her manager then said to her that she's here to do a job, and if she can't do it, then she needs to leave. My daughter got herself together, completed her shift, and at the end of the shift, they then told her that they could give her 20%. So they gave her $6 on the $700 tip. Today she was going to go in, which she did. They just fired her. So she's like, I don't want to leave because why all of a sudden do I have a $700 tip and I'm fired the next day? So they tell her that they're calling the police. And she's like, good, call the police because you're stealing my money.
So it depends on how they handle their tips, right? That $700 tip you might be giving to an individual server. I'm not saying you're giving a $700 tip, nor would I. But you think you're giving it may be split among everybody, right?
Is the argument...
If they split their tips.
Is the argument that the tip itself was an accident? In other words, wrote the wrong number? Or that it was a legit tip and they just were keeping most of it?
We are hearing only one side of the story, so I don't know. She's claiming they accepted the fact that it was $700, but they're saying that's too much. We can't pay that out.
Well, no, but they said, hold on.
Then they said that we'll give you 20%, and she said she got a $6 tip.
Yeah, 20% of the bill.
Of the bill.
Which was $35 or something, which,
wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, and then she went in the next day and was fired. It sounds to me, reading between the lines here, that they think she fudged this tip amount. Maybe it was supposed to be $7, 7.00, and she somehow made it 700.
Well, here's the problem.
That's why they wouldn't pay it out, and that's why she got fired.
$7 would make sense.
That's over 20%.
Yep.
Yes.
$700. And the fact that you didn't have a conversation with her, there's a whole thing about this where the rest, and this happens all the time with tips, and the restaurant will try to determine A, did the person make a mistake? B, are they looking to give a very extra large tip? And also, are they that? Yes, that distracted me, Davey. Do they really want to give that large tip? I know I'm not making sense.
If there was if any of us were were that customer, they would clearly know that $700 was a mistake. There's no question.
I think that's a mistake. But as I was trying to say before, restaurants go through this all the time. Where is it written poorly? Did they mean to do this? Did they make a mathematical mistake? That happens a lot. People will make and you know what? You're not thinking. And there have been times I've gone back in because I thought, God, did I do that right? Maybe I made a mistake, and I'll go back in and check it. just because I don't want to. You don't want to leave somebody a bad tip if they, don't. I'm kind of a 15% person.
I was going to ask you, do you have a standard amount?
I do. It's 15%, even if it's bad. Now, if it's bad and the person's yelling at me, I'm still probably going to leave a tip, but maybe not. And I'm always a 20% tipper.
That's me. What about you,
at
Jeff?
least 20%. And it's extra good. Sometimes I will leave more. But if you're going to leave more, you should write a little note on there that says, I know this is an abnormally high tip. You should leave a note, because otherwise they're not going to pay it out to the server.
Jeff, what if in the morning you get an especially good, juicy sandwich? Okay? Like McDonald's, the server sees you come in.
I do not tip for that stuff.
Okay.
I never tip for that stuff. I feel bad because they have the tip jars out at various places.
If
I'm
you
never
get
going to tip for your counter service. I'm sorry.
I hate I hate gift cards. So you get a gift card, somebody gives you a gift card, and you go in, and maybe it's a $100 gift card. And you go in, you have a $100 meal, so you pay nothing. What tip do you leave?
20%.
I leave higher.
I do too.
Yeah. I'm like, well.
Well, okay, I
here's-
understand what you're saying, but was it better service?
Well, if it's really good service. I mean, if the person's not good.
Okay, wait, hang on. You just said you always tip 15%. Then you said you
Here's
always
how
tip
it
a
goes.
minimum of 20%.
Here's how it goes.
Now you're giving extra on a gift card.
I do
Bill.
extra.
I got to call
extra.
BS on this.
No, it's all. What do you think? I'm kidding? I'm lying? I'm not. Listen, here's how it
In
goes.
the last 60 seconds, you've committed to 15, 20, and 25%.
15 is. Let me explain. 15 is the base. If its service isn't good service or you're not happy, I may leave 15%. 20 is my normal, if it's good service, I'm leaving at least 20%.
Yes.
If it's better than that, I might leave a little more. If I'm using a gift card, there's a chance, I'm paying nothing. So I had a $100 meal for nothing. I might leave them $35. Okay? That'd be a 35% tip. See, I did the math on that.
You did.
I did.
You did.
Thank God it was a $100 bill.
That was good.
Well,
Yeah.
That's fair. You're essentially paying it forward. That's your attitude.
Correct.
I got the meal for free.
If the person is
Sure.
if it starts out the conversation by saying, I love your show. Now, if that's the case, I'm there.
Different.
You're getting a good tip. You're going to get a tip and a
Listen,
half.
I've always tipped the bartenders better when she walks up and goes, "Hey, handsome, what can I
That's
get
right.
you?"
That always helps. That always
You know,
helps.
part of the
Yes, I got an extra $5 here.
Part of the issue is what if it's a place you go to every day, or like, and I do this because we have season tickets for hockey. I go to the same counter every time I go to get
Yes,
something,
yeah.
so I'm going to see those women every single game. I'm not going to tip them good, and then I gotta see them again. It's not like it's a one and done.
There's the cruise ship tip. When you go on a cruise ship, you go to the bar that you're going to spend all your time at, and you immediately give a $100 tip.
That's right.
You will get your drink first every single time for the rest of the cruise.
And you don't have to tip the rest of the cruise.
You probably don't, but you probably should.
You probably should. But
and
this is a
usually that-
psychological trick a lot of people do.
Yes.
Remember me, remember my face, give me priority.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, Jeff, when you're my size, it pays. Okay? Because they can't see me in front of those tall people or behind those tall people. They just can't see me. All right, Davey, what is this? You've even given me a note. Something to do with aliens. Okay. All right, fair enough. I don't believe it. But Christian, it's been a while. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bill.
Good morning. What's going on?
Hey, Bill, I wanted to compliment you on your beautiful singing voice you have.
Oh, it is something, isn't it?
Yeah, nice. When you did the little spoof on Allentown there.
Okay, right. Look at Sangertown, that Sangertown song. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
Thinking maybe you and I can do a duet sometime.
That would be nice. I think you're earning a tip, by the way, right now. He's earning a tip. He could get a tip. All right.
Bill, who would yell at you? You said someone yelled at you?
Nobody yelled at me.
Oh, okay. I thought someone yelled at you over a tip or something.
No.
Okay.
No. All right. What's the purpose of the call this morning, other than a compliment? It'd be nice to go into the weekend with a compliment. I hope that's it.
Well, Bill, can't I just miss you and want to talk to you?
That's perfectly fine. That is, yeah. I think that there's nothing wrong with that, and I appreciate it.
Also, I was just curious because one of the previous times we spoke, you said that you were a skeptic about the whole alien thing, So I was curious now that Fox News has claimed that there's 4 different alien species here. I was wondering your opinion on it.
Is that what Fox News is reporting right now?
Somebody reported it. I did hear that this week. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did see a little, and I don't know. I'm not necessarily. I just don't know. I guess that would be skeptical. Do I think there's life out there? I guess probably. We're not alone. But some of the stuff I'm skeptical of.
There may be alien hybrids walking amongst us.
It's possible. You could be one for all we know.
Okay.
Here's what Manaski has.
Yeah, and this is from Fox News. New claims that the United States has recovered remains of 4 separate species of alien life are sending shockwaves throughout the UFO disclosure movement, further drumming up conversations surrounding the government's knowledge of otherworldly life. Dr. Hal Puthoff, a CIA-funded researcher and former Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Applications Program advisor, put that on a business card, announced the new revelation while appearing at a UFO roundtable on Steve Bartlett's The Diary of a CEO podcast alongside Age of Disclosure director Dan Farah last week. So this guy used to have a job in government. Look, the Bob Lazar is another guy who did actually have a job in government. I don't dispute everything these individuals say, but I don't know that I buy everything that they say either. I think a lot of this is polished up, and you add to it. You embellished for the sake of selling books or getting attention on podcasts and doing these media tours, essentially.
Well, part of this story, I think what Christian is talking about is, if you go further, you'll see that what they're saying is the CIA is aware of it, and that these people have actually already joined humans and created this other race. So they're saying that, again, the story goes that these people have already started to have children and actually created this other species with humans.
All of a sudden you found out your parents they never told you. But,
how does that 23andMe come back? That's the question.
That's a good question.
Martian. Oh, well, really? That's interesting.
I don't know. All I know is I can't imagine we're alone. Why do they have to be smarter than us? How did they get here? Are we, is all of this artificial intelligence coming from some sort of alien life form? We're making advancements like never before. So I do kind of wonder. And the fact that the White House is talking about it is crazy. It kind of legitimizes the whole thing. All right, quickly, and I got a break, Christian.
Well, Bill, the aliens aren't smarter than you. Let's not be ridiculous.
No. All right.
Unless Bill is alien.
Could be. I mean, it could be. Christian, you have a great weekend. Thank you. And thank you for being cordial.
All right, Bill.
All right.
Take care.
Here's what we have here. Of the 4 alien species believed to have been previously recovered by U.S. officials, the Nordics bear the most similar resemblance to humans, with grays often to consist of small, massive-eyed, hairless creatures, the Post reported. Let's see. The most commonly described...
He's in the other room.
Smitty. I didn't say that, by the way. The most commonly described aliens are the grays. There's a lot of discussion about whether they are essentially the designed beings for our world. They seem to have the easiest time moving around, and they're the most commonly cited aliens. Hang on, there's more. The reptilians are reportedly depicted as lizard-like creatures. This is like 1960s cartoon stuff.
I just don't understand how we're reporting on this as if it's real.
The 4th species, the insectoids, reportedly resemble a praying mantis and are bug-like beings. I feel like this was one of the outfits they wore on Scooby-Doo when they were like this.
Have you seen the thing about octopuses? The documentary, the relationship that the guy had.
This I can believe.
That's unbelievable. How smart and almost like willing to have or able to have a relationship with a human, like a conversation, even though you're not speaking words, but emotion, it seems. When you watch this thing, I saw somebody the other day that said he will no longer eat octopus because of that documentary, because he's saying they have minds like humans. Maybe there's your alien
too.
life.
That's it. I'm never going to eat octopus.
That's the end of it. I got a break. Let's do Habaika's free money question of the day, and then the mayor is coming up. Thank you for that distraction this morning, Christian. Davey, you're looking for, this is $325 plus a chance at boxing tickets for Fight Night a week from tonight at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. You're looking for caller number what this morning, Davey?
Caller 7, Bill.
7th with 325 on the line from Hobica. Right now, caller 7 at WIBX.
Hello, Oneida and Herkimer County Republicans. I'm Charles Potter, your candidate for the 118th Assembly District. I would be honored to earn your support on June 23rd. With 14 years of dedicated service as a county supervisor and the only candidate endorsed by the New York State Conservative Party, experience matters. Please vote for Charles Potter on June 23rd. Early voting starts on June 13th. Paid for by Friends of Charles Potter.
Hurt in a car, call William Mattar, 315-444-4444.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Here's the perfect date. Head to Valley View Golf Course on the Parkway. Then after a great round of golf, visit Tito's Tavern at Valley View, your go-to spot for casual bites, cold drinks, and wall-to-wall sports action. Why not stay for dinner? Roman's at Valley View is classic Italian-American cuisine with a modern twist, all in an elevated dining room with stunning panoramic views. Perfect for date night, celebrations, or just treating yourself. Valley View, one incredible location where Utica comes to dine, relax, and play a round of golf with family and friends.
You love yard sales, but let's be real. You could spend all weekend driving around and still miss out on amazing finds. Over 100 vendors all in one place. Find antiques, furniture, household items, tools, brand new clothing, kids' clothes, toys, collectibles, hidden gems, and so much more. No driving all over town. Park once, shop, save, and treasure hunt all day long. The world's largest yard sale at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 20th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sponsored by the Potting Shed Antiques, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and James Mitsubishi.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
We'll figure it out, Davey. In the studio right now this morning, I'm going to ask you, of course, and Steve Houck is with us this morning. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring a fourth person Davey, of course. So that makes a fifth person we want to bring in.
Just like
ladies and gentlemen, here's person number 5. You're going to give us 3 clues on who you are, and then we'll try to guess. Okay, clue number 1, caller. Go ahead, give us your first clue.
I hate the Utica roads.
Oh, you just gave it away. It's Wayne. It's Wayne.
Obviously, it's Wayne.
It's obvious. I mean, come on.
Actually, you guys are. Go ahead.
Actually, every time I can always expect whenever we're, the mayor's coming up in a few minutes, you may have a comment on the streets in Utica. So, you gave that away. Yeah, Wayne is our contestant, ready to take a shot.
He is. I was going to say,
money.
A recommendation for Wayne: the next time you pull off to put cash out the window to give it to the folks who stand on the side of the road with the signs, tell them, I'll give you $5 if you kick some rocks back into that pothole to make it less bumpy. Put them to work, Wayne.
You want to laugh? I over where I dropped my son off, the school, the parking lot is so bad that when people are going in, they have to either wait for someone to go by, or they have to go around and dodge the potholes so much that they're almost hitting each other. That's how dangerous. It's like being on being on a city street, but it's even worse than South Utica.
Okay, I'm going to we'll move on. We're going to speak with the mayor in a few minutes. We'll bring all of this up for you, I promise. Okay, let's start by, I think you're going to want to play for the Turning Stone Fight Night tickets, right?
You got it.
And you know how this works. If you get it right, I'll add the amount to the jackpot. I mean, this could be a major jackpot you're playing for here. Davey's shaking his head.
Can you use your Casey Kasem voice? I love that when you do that.
I don't
You
know
do
that
it
I
so
can
perfect.
pull it off. I'll try, but I don't think I can pull it off. Will it be $100, $200, or $300? Let's see, that
Go
was
with the middle.
terrible.
No, that was pretty
We're
good.
going to go with 2 because that's the middle.
You're going to go with 2. That means if it's 2, you will win the tickets, and instead of $325, it will be $525 you're playing for. Wow.
Oh, my God.
All right, let's spin the wheel. This is an electronic wheel. It's very scientific. Let's spin it. Here we go. Random.
$200.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Don't spin again, please. We never know what'll
I
happen.
love the scientific part.
Well, it's random.
Alien
it's
technology.
random.
Alien technology.
So every time I hit it, obviously, same one could come up, but it's random. That's what I'm saying. All right. Well, that means you have the boxing tickets for next Friday night. Congratulations. And it now means you are competing for $525. Are you
You
ready?
didn't use your Casey Kasem voice.
I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
For $525 and smoke pouring out of the ears of Davey because he's really upset about this. Here we
We
go.
want the
Here
smoke.
is your question. You'll have 7 seconds to answer. Name the first ever computer virus. Ready, go.
First ever computer virus. I
got a
have no
name.
idea. I
Okay.
have no idea.
So much for the drama of $525.
I have no idea.
Wah, wah. The first ever. Anybody? How do you know this?
No.
Oh, wait. I got
Trojan
one. Bill,
something?
I got one.
Something
Corona.
Trojan?
Corona.
Corona.
All right, that would have been a good guess. Was it the coronavirus? That's funny.
It was Old Milwaukee Light.
It was called Creeper. The Creeper virus.
Creeper.
Yeah, that was the first.
I've heard that
ever.
before.
What year? What year was the internet invented? So the internet would have. Remember what the internet is? It's intertwined digitally, right? We're connected. The internet was invented in what decade?
It was the 1960s.
It was the 60s, yeah.
By Al
Yeah.
Gore.
Al Gore.
Al Gore did. Yeah, it was Al Gore. Yeah.
It was the 60s for real.
And as a result, it created global warming, and now he's solving that problem too.
Oh, boy.
You know,
All
interestingly,
intertwined.
Yeah.
it is all intertwined
Like
because
the internet.
you look now at these data centers and these computer centers, how much electricity they use.
I know. Well,
What
Microsoft,
is the impact on the environment?
Microsoft just came out with a new, I don't know if it's a study or if it's an audit of their system, and they're saying that the data centers, which basically create the artificial intelligence that are replacing American jobs, that facility costs far more than it would if you just hired people to do all the work. Isn't that something? However, the acceleration
this stuff
and the
is like
ability,
crack.
the ability though of fast calculations and stuff, we can't do that.
Crack, heroin, fentanyl. You say what? Because look, humans, we seem to be willing to go out of our way, just like somebody would forego paying their bills and buying food in favor of whatever that drug of choice is that they can't get off.
Yes.
We are willing to sacrifice all these things, jobs. We don't care about your family because we're going to unemploy you and just put a computer to work, even though it might be more expensive. We do all this stuff to save the environment, and we want to have more affordable energy, and we
because
just burn it with these data centers.
We haven't gotten to the point where we figured out that all of this contributes to pollution. We haven't
In
kind
energy
of
use.
figured that out yet.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Wayne, you don't get the $525, but you do get the tickets to the Turning Stone Fight Night. That is 361-SHOW for tickets, or go to turningstone.com, and it's next Friday, 6 p.m., as part of Hall of Fame weekend for the Boxing Hall of Fame. We'll also give you Movieplex tickets, Glenwood Movieplex, and Rome Cinema 8 tickets as well. Stand by, and Davey's going to hook you up. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I wanted to thank you guys, and thanks for giving me a chance to win that. But the pothole thing, I've come up with a solution. I'm just going to take the biggest ones and start naming them.
I like that. I like it. They should have names like the Weather Channel named Storms. That's exactly it.
Start with New Hartford Shopping Center. That's like
my
Fallujah
God.
over
They
there.
redid that shopping center. They redid a lot of it.
Not in the back, though, I don't think, have they?
In the back, they
No,
did
but
not.
the way
No, the back,
the back they didn't. You're not supposed to go back there. That's
Yeah.
why. That's like that turning.
Well, there are
road.
businesses
Don't
back
take the
there.
back road.
There's a dry cleaner back there. I mean,
Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah, okay, don't go there. All right.
Don't
All right,
go
Wayne,
there with that.
stand by.
All right, later,
stand by.
guys.
Thank you. Davey, he is all yours. In studio right now is Utica Mayor Mike Galimi. Congratulations, by the way, on your gala.
Oh,
which,
congratulations to Abraham House. We haven't
Like-
announced it yet. We'll probably be doing it next week, but a lot of funds were raised.
Over 1,000 people were there.
It was great. It was pushing 900 in attendance. So,
Okay,
yeah,
so
it was
about
awesome.
900.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it was great. It was great.
And of course, it goes to the Abraham House, which is
Yeah, this is it. Congratulations to Abraham House. It was a phenomenal gala. Their crew did a phenomenal job planning and working on it because, as you know, like the benefiting organization does a lot of the work that actually goes into that. And we haven't announced the numbers yet, but I have a feeling it's going to most likely be one of the biggest, fundraisers yet for a mayor's gala.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm very excited. It's for Abraham House.
I don't have a lot of time today, so I want to start out with an easy
Yeah, we'll go
question.
for it.
Why do you dislike gay people?
Oh, I do not. You
let's-
know that. So,
okay,
yeah,
that's
we're
an
good.
unfair question.
Yes, it is.
However, that's what's being levied because of this against you.
Oh, you're talking about the whole legislation on the flag stuff that they
Is there another reason?
I mean,
oh, there's something else we got to dig.
What did you think he meant?
well, because there's also because last year I did it. The first year I did the proclamation for the Pride community. I wrote it myself, presented it at their. I think the year they did it in 2024 was MV at the Pride Festival, etc.
Let's just stick to the flag.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So, but then, just like I did last year, June 1st, I do have. If you go down to City Hall, the flag is actually flying at City Hall. I put it on City Hall myself, June 1st, and I did that last year as well.
The Pride flag?
Yes. Yeah.
What
you
is
can go
all of
online
this
and look
about
at it.
then?
Well, they want to specifically put it on that specific flagpole. I have to say, I have been a large supporter of the Pride community since I became mayor, not only with the flag itself, but the proclamations and lighting up City Hall and the different garages, etc.
Listen, I know you. I don't see you as a person who is anti anyone.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to explain. So, effectively, what they did this year was roll out that legislation and kind of just make believe none of that other stuff that I did for the last 2.5 years existed. So it kind of did online create a situation where a lot of people were like, why is this guy not doing anything? Meanwhile, when June 1st happened, I did the exact same thing I did last year. So I didn't just do it this year.
So that flag is flying there right now?
Yes, it is. You could see it. You could see it online.
Let's stop just for a second and just... Because I've tried to explain this over the last week.
I don't appreciate the fact that this whole debate is it creates almost a mockery of it. Like there's genuine support that I'm providing.
But explain the policy that you're currently using and the connection to Boston.
Okay, so when I came in, before I forget though, because I think you wanted me on about paving, and I thought it was crazy.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Right before I started this conversation with you, we were talking about potholes, but it wasn't Utica that was stated. It was a different township. So I just want to throw that out there. That was interesting for once.
All right,
so back to the flags. Yeah. So 2024, I had an influx of flag requests. And in 2024, the flag tensions, a lot of different groups. It was very high, and I was watching what was going on across, the nation, if you will. So I said, look,
and there was a lawsuit in Boston.
There was, yes. So I said, our flagpole, Corporation Council gave me this memo and said, you shouldn't be taking applications and deciding what's going on here, because as soon as you're being subjective about what goes on the official flagpoles, where the city flag and the American flag are,
you have responsibility.
Not just responsibility, you're liable if you do not choose a certain
discriminating.
one.
That's my point. And it's very much like a website message board. Once you start editing and pulling things off, now you're completely responsible.
So
for what
specific to the
happens.
flagpole that flies the city flag, we have all the national flag raisings all the time. I said, okay, can we find a delineation point which there's no subjectivity? We said, yes, flags of national origin. Done. So that's in 2024, that's what happened. And actually, the first flag that did not go up in 2024 was the Catholic Schools Week. It had nothing to do with the Pride community.
Is there an area now where you put the Pride flag where other flags can
Well,
fly?
so what I did was just and this was specific to the Pride community. I said, listen, I got to figure out a way to do this because I do want to fly the flag. I could still exhibit my own government speech as an elected official. So I had a flagpole mount put on my my window frame right above the doors that go into City Hall in my office. So June 1st, I mounted the flag. This is last year, by the way.
Okay.
And I was going to do this in 2024 as well. That was the original plan, but it turned into such a controversy. I said, you know what? I'll just restart next year. And then that was last year.
So that's where the flag is flying. My question would be, who gets to fly a flag there?
Well, so that's
me. Have you created a whole new problem?
No, I have not, because I decided to put that up there.
Okay.
I did not take an application. I did not
But
take a suggestion.
you are the mayor of the city of Utica.
No, but that is my own government speech. It does matter. So if you're going to take applications and say people can do this, you now have to open it to everyone, that type of situation, which is what the council is trying to do with their legislation as well. They're trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
On your flag, the one that you fly.
Yes.
If I'm 4 offices down the hallway, can I go out the window and put a flagpole on the outside my window?
So I would have to technically approve that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I am the mayor.
And then
of the building.
And then if
Congratulations, by the way.
If you say the Pride flag can fly, what if I come in and want another flag and you decide against it?
That's not your office. It's my office.
I know, but I'm asking you.
Yeah.
I know I can't. But I'm saying if you say no to that, don't you open the door potentially for someone to say, well, you're discriminating?
No, it opens the door to just say that Mayor Galimi is flying the Pride flag and didn't fly the other flags.
Okay. All right.
But that's my... So now here's the point. I wanted to do this when I came in differently. So this is like a fundamental thing, okay? What's going on across the country is we want to elect people who will force government to believe certain things. Okay, like we're going to legislate exception and legislate people doing like you're going to do this. So one of the things in a lot of the legislation around not just the Pride flag, all of this type of legislation that mandates a sentiment, like it'll say, if we do this now and that flies, that is the official sentiment of the city. But then what that does is it creates more polarization, because then you got people saying, oh, that's my flagpole too, and this and that and the other thing. The reason I did this the way I did it, right? I'm an elected official who chose to fly the Pride flag up there. No one had to force me to do it. No one had to tell me to do it. I wanted to do it. That's why I wanted to do it. It's an example, right? That you should accept your neighbors, that you should be doing things like this. And instead of some legislation forcing it, I just did it.
I understand.
Right? And that's my point.
Are you going to be angry with me if I tell you I'm still confused?
Well, it's what's confusing is...
Are you confused?
I'll tell you what's confusing. Let's say they do this.
I understand, but I'm still confused.
Let's say this happens, and then the council does their own Pride flag ceremony.
Right.
There will be a flag flying on City Hall, a Pride flag.
Looks like that's going to happen.
While there's another ceremony.
And they even held off the meeting this week so that they could have enough members to vote. I believe.
I don't know why they did that.
Well, because one member was not going to be there, and they wouldn't have had the vote.
The special meeting they're having, they also said is no public comment.
Yeah,
at the regular meeting, they would have had to have had public comment.
What other
I think
flags,
that might have more to do with it.
What other flags have flown on your pole?
I think you're
Just
right.
the Pride flag, actually.
Only the Pride flag?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. So if the Catholic group came to you, and would there be a dilemma there, a moral dilemma for you?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
They haven't. The other thing, too, is, in all seriousness, there's a lot of different, and this is a huge debate. This opens me up to all kinds of, but I'm already being ridiculed for everything on the planet, so why not, right?
Sure.
I do believe right now that community, the Pride community in Utica, New York, especially because I have a lot of friends who are part of that community. I have a lot of family members who are part of that community. I wanted to do that because I do think that right now that community absolutely needs just open support so that people say, hey, you know what? it's all right. That's just
And
humans being people.
And you want people also to know that you do support that community.
Yeah. And not only that, but you should just accept your neighbor.
So you see it as being kind of like a flag hanging on the wall of your office. You have certain decorations in your office. This is an extension of that.
Well, and the other thing, too, is it started a lot of conversations, right? So when I did it like that last year, a lot of people came up to me and said, take that down.
Oh, they did?
Yes. And I said, no. They said, well, you have to. That's city property, etc. I said, it is
kind
city
of where
property.
I was going with it.
Right, exactly. But that's my government speech
Okay.
to put that up there while I'm mayor. And if you don't want the pride flag flying on my office window, you don't have to vote for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great stance.
So it's a different type. See, that's my point. It's a different way of doing it.
I would ask you,
which I thought would be celebrated, by the way. And what I'm confused about is if all this is going on, the flag is already there. This all went on last year
why
as
does
well.
this all have to be happening?
Why aren't we just all working together? I'm doing it a little differently. I'll admit it. It's not going up and replacing the city flag.
I don't mean to cut you
there.
off, but I'm going to get cut off in a second. But ultimately, the council, I think, we'll talk about this on the other side, maybe opening a can of worms for all of what you were worried about. Stand by. We'll talk about it on the other side of news.
All right, let's do it.
Coming up next.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Republicans did it on their own. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and it took them all night in the Senate.
On this vote, the yeas are 52, the nays are 47. This bill, as amended, is passed.
That was just before 5 a.m., approving nearly $70 billion to fund Border Patrol and Immigration and Customs Enforcement through 2029, which Democrats opposed, but the process used to pass it did not allow a filibuster to block the funding. It goes to the House next.
There were bipartisan efforts to add amendments that would restrict what the president has called a $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund for Trump's political allies who believe they've been politically persecuted. One such defeated amendment was proposed by Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, who was recently defeated by a Trump-backed primary challenger, which would have redirected the fund's payments to law enforcement officers hurt in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The bill also does not include $1 billion in security for the controversial White House ballroom. A legal challenge to stop construction returns to court today. Late last night, President Trump posted on Truth Social the person suing has no standing, and the case is highly damaging to our country, calling the ballroom vital for national security. The president keeps trying to work out a deal to end the Iran conflict.
The main parts of the deal is they can't have a nuclear weapon. The Strait will open immediately.
Iran's been blocking most shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. It's also demanding Israel stop attacking Hezbollah in Lebanon, but those attacks continued today. There's a new attempt to try to stop the war in Ukraine.
In an open letter to Russian President Vladimir Putin, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky proposes a meeting between the two, a step President Trump is encouraging.
I think it would be great if they met. They should get it done.
Zelensky's letter comes as Russia intensifies airstrikes against Kyiv, and Ukrainian drones have hit deeper into Russian territory.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The president's threatening to veto a House-passed bill to provide new aid, weapons, and loans to Ukraine. America's listening to Fox News.
Larry Older here. You know, I think a lot of people just accept pain, like, this is just how it is now. I don't think that has to be true. Let me tell you about George. He's up in Oregon, works 10-hour days, driving a garbage truck, in and out all day. It really did a number on his knee. He said it got so bad, he couldn't even bend it. Now think about that. Trying to work, take care of your family, and your body just isn't cooperating. Well, George tried Relief Factor, and this is what got me. He said, I can bend my knee again with very little pain. Simple, but when you get something like that back, it matters. My brother Kirk had difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning until he followed my advice. After about a week, he calls and says, this stuff is working. If you're dealing with aches and pains, see if Relief Factor works for you. It's drug-free with a 3-week quick start for just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com, that's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF. You don't have to just accept living with pain.
While Democrats keep blaming President Trump for a rise in inflation driven by surging gas prices in the Iran conflict, he'll counter that today going to Wisconsin.
The White House says President Trump will visit Chippewa County, Wisconsin, discussing his working family's tax cuts that it says has delivered an average of $2,600 in savings to rural Wisconsinites and saved over 55,000 family farms in Wisconsin by permanently cutting the death tax. That the president's America First policies have created unprecedented global market access for American farmers and removed burdensome and unnecessary EPA requirements. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Later this hour, we'll get an important update to the economy. Hiring in May.
Investors and analysts will be particularly looking at whether there was a slowdown in job creation following April's better-than-expected results. The forecast is for an increase of 85,000 new jobs, far less than April's gain of 115,000. We'll also get the latest numbers on the unemployment rate, which is expected to remain at 4.3%. Laura Cantor, Fox News.
Now, the numbers could move the stock markets. Ahead of that, futures are mixed. Up for the Dow, which surged to a new record high yesterday, but they're down big for the NASDAQ. There was overtime drama on ice last night.
Gustus pair. Carlson and Dyke for the penalty kills. Overtime winner!
Stanley Cup Final Game 2 on Sportsnet. 3 minutes and 56 seconds into sudden death to give the Carolina Hurricanes a 4-3 victory over the Vegas Golden Knights in Raleigh. A win that tied the Stanley Cup Final at 1 game apiece, with Game 3 tomorrow in Las Vegas. The Hurricanes trailed 2-0 after 2 periods, but then scored 3 consecutive goals to take the lead, only to see Mark Stone of Vegas force overtime with 81 seconds left.
That's Fox's Jared Max. Tonight, Game 2 of the NBA Finals. The San Antonio Spurs try to even the series after the New York Knicks won the opener. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have some sunshine and 61 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski.
It'll be a hot one today.
WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says a 16-year-old male has been charged with 2 hate crime offenses after an investigation was conducted by the Sheriff's Office Juvenile Aid Unit. 2 Madison Oneida BOCES administrators contacted the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, each reporting a separate course of conduct by the juvenile suspect with slurs communicated to both in person and through messages sent to their respective work emails. That juvenile, whose name is not being released because of his age, was charged with harassment in the 1st degree as a hate crime and stalking in the 4th degree as a hate crime. Both are misdemeanors. If you're out on the roads this morning, be aware the 150-plus riders participating in the Ride for Missing Children of the Mohawk Valley is happening this morning. The 80-mile journey makes stops at many local schools along the way. You, of course, can honk your horn in support. New York State is the first state in the nation to come up with legislation aimed at data centers. The New York State Legislature approved a 1-year moratorium on data center permits. Advocates say this will give the state some time to lay out rules and plan to make sure the energy grid is protected and utility rates don't skyrocket. If the measure is signed by Governor Kathy Hochul, New York would be the first state in the nation to enact a temporary statewide ban on large-scale data centers. Bill, I'll cut it there, but at some point we have to come back to this. Advocates say this bill would give the state time to lay out rules and plan to make sure the energy grid is protected and utility rates don't skyrocket, something they apparently did not do before they made all these energy measures.
It would be awful, wouldn't it, if utility rates skyrocketed? Boy, I hope that never happens.
I don't know, like 30% maybe
Good God.
in winter?
Yeah.
Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Okay.
The dry weather continuing and the heat continuing to build in. This morning up a couple, this afternoon up a couple from yesterday. Sunny, I'm just going to say near 90. It might be 88 or 89, but close enough. After midnight tonight, next change. With the chance of a couple of showers, we drop to 65. Now, Saturday, showers are likely. Maybe a thunderstorm toward midday in the afternoon, 85. Still a chance of showers early Sunday. Cloudy, dry afternoon, 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Sunshine and 61 at 8:08. From the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, the Mets did not lose yesterday. They did not play. They were off. They're in San Diego tonight to start a 3-game series.
They're on a 1-game win streak right now.
Yes, that is correct. Let's see. The Yankees salvaged the series finale against the Guardians 2-1 the final. Bad news, though. The Yankees will be without Aaron Judge for at least a month. He's got a stress fracture on the first rib on his right side. Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight. The Knicks in San Antonio to take on the Spurs. Looking to hopefully steal Game 2 as well before they come back home Monday, a game that President Donald Trump is expected to be in attendance for at MSG. The Stanley Cup Final tied at 1 game apiece. The Carolina Hurricanes rallied from a late 2-goal deficit to win 4-3 in overtime. That series tied at 1-1. I want to congratulate as well. We want to congratulate as well. Let's all come together to congratulate Notre Dame and New Hartford. Both won in first-round action of the state tournament in their respective brackets. 7-2 for Notre Dame. I think it was 15-2 for New Hartford. New Hartford, Notre Dame, and Oriskany all played tomorrow. Good luck to all 3 teams. I do not have the next game for the New Hartford girls softball.
All right, Davey, we're doing okay. We're going to chat a little more here, and then we're going to talk about Belmont. Belmont this weekend at Saratoga. Today, I'm sure the mayor will back me up on this. Very big day. Of course, the Ride for Missing Children going on through the region, and yes, in Utica, the opening ceremonies of the Special Olympics.
That's what I was going to say. Tonight we have the opening ceremony of Special Olympics.
Yeah,
and
a lot going on.
There's also a fashion show going on. It's a joint fashion show. I think the prime sponsor of the fashion show is Upstate Caring Partners, UCP, but then also Kelberman Center is involved and the ARC.
Okay.
So we have a lot of things going on
Ignore
this
him.
afternoon. That's fine.
This is what Jeff does. When he reads comments, we lose him. He goes deep into the comments.
It's a lot. Well, so, I mean, I would like to talk about a lot of things
Ignore
that
him. Just ignore
people
him.
are very concerned
Ignore
with in
him.
the city, like paving and waterboard cuts and all that kind of stuff. However, if we're going to go back to this, I want to read the paragraph that matters about the veto message.
Let me just say this.
Yes.
The council, if the council overrides your veto,
Which they may. They probably will.
and if that happens, you feel that's going to open up a legal can of worms.
Well, so what I'm
going to
do is I'm going to read the paragraph quickly in my veto
All right.
message, right?
All right.
The specific reason.
You're back with us, Jeff? You're back.
The specific reason to which I am vetoing this legislation is that it is not what was passed by the City of Boston Common Council in 2022. If our Common Council would like to perform the duties that they claim are in accordance with the Supreme Court, with what the Supreme Court ruled, then our Common Council should follow suit and pass the same legislation. What has been passed is a combination of the current administration's flag policy, Utica Common Council additions, and parts of the Boston Common Council's legislation. This legislation, as passed, leaves the city of Utica open for subjective interpretation and does not insulate the city in the same manner as the Boston legislation in conjunction with the 2022 Supreme Court decision. Now, at the top of that veto message, I did note that let it be known that I have as mayor both designated the month of June as Pride Month of the city of Utica, and that was for the entire term that I was mayor. It wasn't a specific year, etc., and that both the proclamations that I gave were for the ensuing years, right? So there's support there. I vetoed this legislation for very specific reasons that it's the same exact discussion that we had in 2024 and 2025. The difference is they have one more vote and they feel that they can just do it now because they have a supermajority, right? The other thing that I did not appreciate...
Shows you how elections matter.
Well, exactly. So the other thing I didn't appreciate about this legislation, it still somehow ties me into this subjective decision-making process because I have to still review applications. Now, in 2024, when I sat with Corporation Counsel and went over this Supreme Court decision, the big thing was they said, if you're taking applications, that's what really starts opening you up where you're, now everyone can apply. And if everyone applies because of the Supreme Court decision, you have to fly them all if you're going to have an application.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do. I have a lot of other legislative priorities that I would like them to be working on, like what's going on with our monuments and the littering and the policing in the city and working on how to work with the water authority better and different ways we could pave and all that kind of stuff. But the Common Council is very concerned right now, that Common Council majority, in canceling their regularly scheduled meetings so they could have special meetings for legislation like this with no public comment. Just throwing that out there.
And that's supposed to happen next week.
Next week, yeah.
Okay, all right. You also want to talk about potholes.
I have to say,
and paving.
Smitty, I don't think I'm going to be reaching out to guests anymore to book things because they say, sure, I'll come on. What are we going to talk about?
Oh, it's fine.
And then they come in.
It's fine. No, but I will say, though, but here's what's funny about that. So I had a long day yesterday. I was at the baseball field and we're getting our kids ready. We got to, practice tonight. Got all this other stuff going on with the Special Olympics and all that. So this morning I did kind of like get myself in paving mode because you're like, okay, and we put out that giant press release about it.
I don't mean to call it potholes.
No,
but
it's
I
fine.
Associate
no,
potholes
but then we come
with
on
paving,
and it's funny. Like with these big controversies, you have to be like a turret and shift. You have to shift focus. And the whole flag thing, I dealt with that. And June 1st came, I put the pride flag out, and I'm doing what we're doing, reissued the proclamation, and I moved on to other city business that's really important to managing the city because I'm in support of what I'm doing. I'm doing it the way I'm going to do it. And the Common Council just wants to be just ultimately, genuinely just concerned with this for months on end, rather than dealing with the 1,000 things we need to do to manage the city. So I just kind of got myself in that mode, and then I had to jump back into it, almost like a time machine in my brain. Like, what was that veto message again? Because I wrote it, 2 weeks ago or what have you.
You did well. Quickly, though, I do want to touch the paving.
Yeah. So June 15th, you will see crews out earlier than normal, one may say, because I think it is way earlier than normal. But we put out a big release of all the different things we're doing. You could find that at the city's social media page. We also released it to the press. It discusses everything we're doing with the actual roadway improvement program this year. Everything from describing the difference between the mill and fill, the micropaving, what we're doing for the repairs program, how we are doing, it describes what we may have to do if we have to prune a tree. And throughout the city, you'll see that we're already out there with 811, the call before you dig. We're marking stuff out with the barrels. And we're really just trying to get out there, just like we did last year. Every single year, we try to do more public communication, more objective-based paving based on the road rating system. We're actually bringing in a different company because Michelin Robotics decommissioned their entire product.
How do you determine what gets paved and what doesn't?
All right, so this started about 2.5 years ago, and this went out in the State of the City mailer last year. We described it all. So if you go to paveutica.com, you can see a big map of all the road ratings. That's a really good baseline. So every year now, we go and we have it's basically a system of cameras and LiDAR that mounts on vehicles, and we drive the entire roadway. It's a GPS-directed system. The company we're moving with now will be Civil, if people want to look it up. It's really cool. And you get your typical ANSI-based road ratings. It's very objective. It's an engineering-based system. And every so many feet, it says there's an indicator of compromise. There's a good road. There's curb cuts that aren't a disaster, and it just rates the roads. Obviously, every single year there's more roads than that are available to pave than we have money. So we say, okay, with this objective-based paving, then we take all of the input from the council people if they sent it to us. We take all of those constituent complaints over the course of the last year.
So it's not just the data.
Oh, of course not. You can't just go by the data. Yes, that would be a way to do it, but you have to also verify that this stuff is working. Because here's the other thing. You could go out to a road that's rated a 3 or a 4 if it's a 1 through 5 system, 5 being the worst, 1 being the best. And when you go there physically, you could say, oh, I understand why the LiDAR and the camera thinks this is a 3 or a 4, but really this is a 5 and this needs to be done this year. Or, for example, a council person came to us a couple months ago and said, this road needs to be paved because this is wrong with it. And we said, go to the map and see what it's rated. And they were like, oh, it's only rated like a 3.
Yeah.
Like, that's not that bad. So we went there, and the reality is that road ended up on the repair list rather than the mill and fill list. And a couple of years ago when I came in, what I wanted to do was have that objective baseline on the road rating, because what I saw is we were dumping all of our mill and fill money into roads that didn't necessarily need mill and fill. They needed repairs, or we were repairing roads that actually had a good surface that we could use the micro paving on, like Varick Street. You saw us do that last year, which Varick Street's a perfect example. If that went on for 2 more years like that, it would have needed to be milled and filled. That stretch of that road would have cost roughly $200,000 to do. We did the micro paving to the tune of $20,000. And that road now resurfaced the way it is will most likely last another 5 to 7 years.
Okay, that's good.
So we're doing a lot of things that can make our money go further. We wrote about that. It's you'll see the major work start June 15th. That'll be mill and fill and repairs going out there. All of the repairs money is not committed yet. So whatever you see being repaired, if it's the spot fixes where it's not an entire road block to block, we kind of commit 60 to 70% of that money at the beginning of the season in phases, with some cushion, because as the season goes on, we start to, this needs to be done, that needs to be done. So we're really moving on it.
I got a couple comments on related topics.
Before we go to the comments, I do want to say, you mentioned Varick Street. Boy, I got to say, Varick Street was really pretty, I want to use the word beautiful, because it really was active, a lot of investment down there. It was the place to go. For the first time, we could say people will get down there for dinner. They'll get down there and have pizza, or not just for cocktails on Thursday nights. It's pretty rough right now.
I'm going to completely disagree with you, because multiple times this season, I've gone down there with some of the kids after baseball and other coaches after the practices and games.
You don't think it looks rougher today than it did 10 years ago, 7 years ago?
No, I don't think it looks rougher. I think there's less activity, absolutely, because we don't have Saranac Thursdays, etc. But if you go back pre-Saranac Thursdays, and you look at what the streetscapes looked like, you looked at what the storefronts looked like, you looked at the amount of restaurants that were open. Right now you have Marib, you have Lucan's, you have Zina's, you have, and it is going to open back up. He's just going through the process. Celtic Harp. I know I'm forgetting a few in there, but Nail Creek is still open. Look at what the brewery did with the beer garden.
That's shifted. There's no doubt about
shifted,
it.
And I have to say, multiple times this summer, with our baseball teams, we go for pizza and wings. To Varick Street, we've gone to Marib with the kids, and my own family. We'll go down on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, 8 p.m. to Zina's, for example, for a family dinner. So I think it's shifted a little. And I think, yes, can more be going on there? Absolutely. But I wouldn't say it's down for the count. I think it's just shifted a little, and now it's on a different little ramp. But I think the ramp is going back up.
Okay.
These were issues submitted by listeners. One of them has to do with West Utica, Addison Miller Park. Let me get it exactly here. It says the red light and stop sign in front of Addison Miller Pool that people run through every hour on the hour. Is anything being done to address that, and are you aware of it?
Yeah, I am aware of it, and we do traffic details there quite often, and as soon as the pools are open, we'll have people down there basically reinforce the fact that stop sign and that light's there.
Could you ask the mayor what the North Utica Thruway Exchange is going to look like, and if we're losing any of those flea bag motels? I'm just reading them as they come in.
So I do believe one of the hotels is slated for a tear down right now. I think the state eminent domain did. I can't remember exactly which one it is. I don't want to use the wrong name and get a bunch of people freaked out that they're getting their hotel torn down. What it looks like exactly, though, I don't know. The last meeting I attended with the state, there were 4 options. They know what they're doing there, but right now there's a lot of different work going on just to move some of the driveways and intersections. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. From what I understand, the bridge replacement is what's going next.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
the
not
thruway redesign is not set yet.
That's not what's going on right now.
Yeah.
I have to say what we should anticipate is possibly some of the removal of a lot of the cloverleaf style on and off ramps. Everywhere they're redesigning these types of throughway interchanges, they're doing the kind of on and off ramp styles where they're straight with, because we don't have toll booths anymore. They can redesign them, and that will actually open up. It'll shrink. A lot of the land mass the actual throughway exchange itself needs.
Yeah.
There weren't any plans to kind of take any private lands other than what they had to do for that 100-foot rule for the exit, which is why one of the hotels is slated to go away. But I'm looking forward to it. But it's not until like 2029 that they're going to be
right.
complete.
And I don't think they've finalized exactly what they're going to do in that. So
the only reason the Common Council pushes against the mayor is so often is because they're trying to prop up Katie for a mayoral run. So let's make lots of videos and waves to get her popularity up. That was a comment from C. Lance says, Varick Street is a ghost town. Your eyes don't lie, Bill. The guy across from you does. I think I actually agree with the mayor on this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, what are you gonna
Everyone
do?
in the area knows Utica roads are horrible. They will fix a few, but they'll still be crappy in general. I mean, yeah, that's a common complaint.
It is tough, though. I mean, you're in a tough position where, I mean, West Utica is rough. Once you get past the brewery, at the very least.
Well, so let's
pretty
talk about
tough.
West Utica, though,
But
because
but James Street. I mean, there are a lot of areas that you have to. I mean, it's not going to be done in just a year or a couple of years.
We have been doing all. So you just mentioned West Utica and James Street.
Yes.
So James Street, at the beginning of my term, I got together with Community Foundation and that empowerment center that used to be a police command center. The Community Foundation woke that up as the empowerment center again.
He's reading messages
and
again.
It's all right. It's all the messages. But just this past weekend, they had a festival. And at the Impact Center on James Street, they painted a beautiful mural. So a lot of things are going on in James Street. You have Rebuilding the Village. Roosevelt Patterson is extremely involved in the street team and rebuilding the village. So you got a lot of activity there in the last couple of years and a lot of support from the administration, myself and all of my employees. Back to West Utica, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do a ribbon cutting on one of them, but we just rolled out a park rebuild program in West Utica, specifically where Addison Miller, Lincoln Ave, and her playground all just received all new playground equipment. Where the playground equipment is, not all of it. The swings in Addison Miller still will have the chips for the wood chips. But those three parks this summer, once school is out, all new playground equipment, all poured in place, that nice cushy play surface, which also if you're in, for example, a wheelchair, have any ADA compliance issues to get to that playground equipment, you could roll right onto. The tree plantings, I mean, the parks in West Utica that are nestled in those neighborhoods where people actually live, we just rebuilt three of those parks. So we're concentrating on the actual neighborhoods. We're concentrating on the fact that the people that might not be online all day, but actually are grinding it out, getting their kids to school, getting their kids home, and making those dinners and just figuring out just what to do every day because they live in the city of Utica. Those are the people we're trying to take care of right now.
And whatever happened to, was it Berger's Dry Cleaner?
Berger's Dry Cleaner.
3 hours. You drop your suit off. 3 hours later, you get back and pick it up. It was done.
I gotta say though,
I just realized it's no longer there.
It isn't there, but dry cleaning
it's
in
there.
general.
It's there. The sign's hanging down.
I used to dry clean a lot of stuff. I don't do it as often.
Right.
Yeah.
I will tell you, Bill. I grew up.
We can tell.
I grew up in West.
That's fun.
I grew up in West Utica, and I spent early in my career. And is running the streets, patrol. I worked West Utica, and I will tell you that when I came on the job in '95 until currently, it's been a neglected part of the city.
Yes.
For all of these years. So I do have to give the mayor credit because it went
paying attention.
It went 30 years with nobody doing anything there.
Well, and I guess what I'm saying is you're not going to fix that in a
There's
in
no
a
way.
year, in
There's
2
no
years.
way.
No, but you know what?
It'll take a long
doing
time.
Doing the little
to-
things, paying attention to the little things like those little parks, or go down the Shaw Street portion right off Jenny where we reconstructed the street, right? And I'm serious. You go down that street. Now, it was a very expensive reconstruction. It was due for 10 years because we did all the sewers and the mains under it, but then they just left it crumbling. We finally committed the funds last year as part of the paving program because we want to try and do a little reconstruction project each year as well. And if you go down Shaw Street where we redid the road and it's got the new curbs and we did it that right way, all of a sudden you see all those houses painting the porches, flower pots out, and trying to take care of the just raw core city things, and doing that builds the
pride.
Just not just the pride, but people are like, hey, I do want to like just come out and sit on my porch and paint my porch and hang out and do that stuff. You know, that's the other thing we're rolling out. There was all that hubbub about the lights. Remember the decorative lighting thing?
Yes.
Right. Over the winter, because we had trouble sourcing those parts, I went to Metalogics under emergency order because there was like exposed wires. And I said, can you make these? And this was, I don't know, a year and a half ago we started this. We got a bunch of the covers. He designed it, he replicated them in CAD. In the 4 different designs, we ordered whatever we needed to replace them. Now that we got those parts, those are actually all capped again, right? We also, he cut them with City of Utica into them. So now if people steal them and bring them to Empire Recycling, it says City of Utica on it. Carries these back, right? But then we're also rolling out, it just went out to bid, actually. When the bid comes back, hopefully we'll have a good award on that. All those decorative lightings, the Acorn lighting, those will all be repainted. We went through the process of figuring out how to either make, or maintain them and fix all the parts. And now those are going to be renovated. All those little things. I'm 2.5 years in as mayor, and it takes time to get that done, especially in a situation where we are in deficit status. We're still taking care of the city.
Yeah. Mayor Galimi, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did.
A lot of ground. And I got to say that Manaski read a lot of messages during this segment.
It was good.
You want one more?
Okay, come on,
How
let's
about
go.
2 more?
He can't help
Very
himself.
quick, because I got a break.
Okay, I talked about, was it Addison Miller? Someone said here, those pool filters are the hardest workers in the city. If everyone cares so much about the gay pride flag on the council, I challenge them to put them up at their homes. That's some of this negative stuff I want to get rid of.
on one of the polls in the council meetings all along.
That's true.
I guess that's good.
I'm on a break. Mayor, thank you. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Enjoy the ceremonies tonight.
Yes, it'll be fun.
That's really a big event coming to the.
And if any of my Little League team
to the area
is listening.
Championship week coming up.
Yeah, tomorrow we have our playoff game because we're the number 2, so we're playing number 3. We'll see what happens if we make it to Tuesday. So
if you need to, will you fight with an umpire? Like make some contact?
I will not.
No. Okay.
You can't trust them anyway.
Baseball analogy here. Lance says the Democrats better find someone other than Katie on the Katie running for mayor comment someone made. Too much baggage, but Palmieri is in the bullpen warming up.
Okay. It's all good.
Anything could happen, right? This could be really exciting.
It's an election.
All right, quick break, and then Scott in Kirkville has a way, listen to this, for you to win a lot of money at the Belmont Stakes tomorrow. He's next. Hold on.
Hello, Oneida and Herkimer County Republicans. I'm Charles Potter, your candidate for the 118th Assembly District. I would be honored to earn your support on June 23rd. With 14 years of dedicated service as a county supervisor and the only candidate endorsed by the New York State Conservative Party, experience matters. Please vote for Charles Potter on June 23rd. Early voting starts on June 13th. Paid for by Friends of Charles Potter.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Step away from the screen and into something real at the 2026 Glimmerglass Festival, where summer comes alive with the finest in opera and musical theater just minutes from Cooperstown.
The Glimmerglass Festival is a world-class summer celebration of the arts overlooking beautiful Otsego Lake, making it an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
This year's festival runs July 10th through August 17th and explores our American journey through iconic musical theater and beloved opera classics. Revel in big dance numbers, a will they, won't they romance, and tunes you won't be able to stop humming with Rodgers and Hammerstein's timeless Oklahoma.
The Glimmerglass Festival. No filters, no algorithms, just unforgettable performances and a perfect summer's day by the lake with world-class opera and musical theater just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
Experience live music, live voices, and live storytelling. No scrolling required. Visit glimmerglass.org to purchase tickets and learn more. Then put down the phone, close the laptop, and join us for real connections at the festival.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Get pumped for summer. Receive an instant rebate of up to $20,000 in clean heat ground source heat pump installation. Call City Suburban today, 315-853-3899, or online at citysuburban.com. That's citysuburban.com.
Hurt in a car, call William Mattar, 315-444-4444.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Sorry, I don't mean to be so abrupt, but, I have a strong opinion on stupid people.
We should have had that conversation on the air.
He's sitting right here, Bill. I mean, come on.
And we will. Oh, he's back in. Oh, my God.
Ooh.
Jeff, you're here.
He goes, I hate stupid people. I go, he's sitting right here.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
On the line, we'll open up this conversation based on some of the comments that are being made on YouTube.
I think we need a 5-hour show today.
It's 8:35 right now. On the line right now is right now. I love right now because right now is right now. Scott in Kirkville. Good morning, Scott.
Well, I just saw Charles Barkley's comment. He said about the road conditions. Just terrible, Bill. Just terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. I've built you up, Scott. I have built you up.
I tell you. Hey, we did well in the Kentucky Derby.
I'll speak for yourself. Yeah.
Well, if you took Renegade and bet him across the board, and we all knew it's going to be tough to win from the one hole, so you cut that down a little bit. But if you paid $7.10 to place and $5.65 to show, you can take a race like that. And so 20 horses, and the way if you saw the start of that race, I think if anywhere else besides the one hole.
Is that that's the woman trainer from Saratoga, right?
Sherry DeVoe.
Sherry DeVoe, yeah.
DeVoe that actually
Golden
won
Tempo.
Golden Tempo won it. Yeah. In fact, the funny part is that horse who won the Derby probably won't be the favorite in the Belmont.
It's
the horse
not.
Is 9 to 2
No.
to start with.
Yeah, it's 9-2 right now.
Amazingly, it's 2-1. But I have to ask Dave. Dave's red hot in NASCAR. You're talking about somebody who's on a heater, and Dave.
Sorry, he's talking to his mother right now.
Okay. But there's the funk myth that people that go to NASCAR races think the first line of the national anthem is "Gentlemen, start your engines."
Right.
That's true or not.
Could be.
Yeah. But
obviously the NASCAR world has been somewhat in mourning since that unexpected death. The more we hear about it, the more probably had he gone to a doctor earlier, it might not have ended this way.
He was battling that. He'd been battling that for weeks, they said.
I know. Yeah. Well, you get that. You start to get that infection, and it antibiotics struggle to heal that. It's oh boy, really scary. Okay. All right. So as I teased, you have a foolproof, surefire way for people to win money in Saratoga tomorrow.
Yeah, just take the 9 horses and box them all in an exacta. You're probably going to win.
Okay.
Can't lose. But
yeah,
the 5 horses I'm concentrating on. Of course, my horse Renegade, the Bill Keeler money horse that we won all year long. And, the interesting part about this, there's very little speed in this race, the opposite of the Derby. And I assume this horse has only won one race, Power Shift, the 2 horses, brought in to be a rabbit for Renegade because Todd Fletcher trains both horses. And I think that horse is the speed of the race, and hopefully other horses will run with him and get him tired.
Yeah.
But the 8-horse Emerging Market is very interesting because he only had 2 races before the Derby, kind of a wild card horse because people think the horse is great talent but didn't have enough seasoning for the Derby. Now he's got that race here. You're going to get a good price. You'll probably get 4 or 5 to 1, and that horse should be close to the lead.
Okay.
So should take over. And the other speed horse, these aren't really speed horses, and you don't expect them on the lead. But you got Chief Wallaby there, the 3 horse that it's Billy Mott, and Billy Mott trained Sovereignty last year, and that horse should be sitting about 3rd or 4th, and depends how fast Power Shift goes. I don't know. It's one of these things where if you're watching the Saratoga, they started on Wednesday, and there is track bias day to day, and what I've seen and what I've wagered on is a lot of speed.
Yeah.
And if the horse gets loose and he's sort of good, you never know.
I mean, do you think this this Cinderella story, Golden Tempo and Sherry DeVoe,
Tempo?
Do you think that that has a shot? Well, they all have a shot.
Definitely has a shot. Like I said, there isn't great horses out there. When there's not great horses, that's why I said about the
anybody
30,
can win.
Anything can happen. You had a 70 to 1 shot, finish 3rd. And the one I loved, I don't know if people didn't talk about it, but the bomb I like was the Japan horse, Bourbon. The horse was leading until the last 100 yards of the race.
Yeah.
And he got run down by 3 horses. And so anything's possible. Now, Renegade is still, I think, the best horse, at least visually, I have seen. That what he did in the Arkansas Derby was incredible.
Yeah.
And when he drew the 1 hole, like I said, I backed off what I bet to win, but I made substantial wagers on 2nd and 3rd, knowing I can make money in the Derby. And I don't know you can do that with Renegade because he's probably going to go off 2 to 1 and 8 to 5.
Yeah.
But I think if you took these 5 horses, the 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, and just box them in any way you want, exacts and trifectas, they're going to win. I thought an outside bomb. If you're looking for a bomb, and I just don't see it, but if you're looking for anything, the 5 horse with Dylan Davis is a 21 morning line. If things fell apart, could win.
Could happen. All right.
I just don't. I don't see it. The key is what Power Shift does, because it makes no sense to enter this horse when you got the best horse in the race. It makes no sense to me unless you're going to use him as a rabbit to help out Renegade. And if he goes 46, you know what he's throwing. If he goes 48, he's actually trying to win the race, the 2 horse.
I want to bring in Kathy with a question.
Hey, Michigan State Kathy?
For you. Kathy, you're on with Scott in Kirkville.
Hey, good morning to everybody.
Hey, Michigan State, how you doing?
Good. How are you? I have to say, I don't think it's a very good field overall. For such an important race as the Belmont Stakes and the history behind it, I just don't think, none of them really impressed, but I'll go with the Japanese horse just for the heck of it.
Which one is the Japanese again?
That is Bourbon?
Bourbon. Oh, yeah.
I don't think Bourbon's in the race.
I don't even see Bourbon.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I might be drinking Bourbon after the race.
I see whiskey. I see vodka. I see no bourbon.
No.
Well, anyways,
but that horse ran great in the Derby. I mean, if you watched the race, because it was a fast pace, and that's the only horse that was still around on the fast pace, and that's why I liked him. He was a 50 to 1 morning line guy.
To be clear, there is no Japanese horse in the race.
I don't see a Japanese horse there unless their owners are Japanese.
I may be wrong, But for such a history behind the race, it's just a poor,
not good,
poor racing field.
Right.
But I'll
All right.
watch it anyways.
All right, Kathy. Just after 7, it'll run tomorrow night on
7:05
on Fox.
I'll tell you something. If you like horse
Thanks,
racing,
Kathy. Thank you.
If you like horse racing, there's the Saturday is they moved a lot of the stakes races that would not run to make it more interesting because of the festival. Now, Journalism is running the Manhattan Mile, and I don't know if you remember Journalism from last year. That horse actually danced all the dances. It finished second in the Derby, won the Preakness, and second in the Belmont. That horse is now running in a 4-year-old race in the Manhattan, which is a prestigious mile race. So if you like, you like the horse that actually was real good last year and was a fan favorite. You got him to look forward to. So that's the Derby stuff. But I think if you're looking for sort of a price, think of the 8 horses to me, 6-1 Moorline, probably go off 4 or 5-1. If you're boxing those 5 horses, you basically want the 8 horse, and you definitely want now the other wild card horse is Commandment to 7. They put Johnny Velasquez on him. Switch jockeys. They didn't like the ride in the Derby. They think Johnny's going to make this horse relax a little bit better. Brad Cox is one of the top hot trainers, and you're probably going to get a price. Like I said, Kathy's right, is that the Derby, usually when you win the Derby, you're probably the favorite in the Belmont. Because it's the same distance now. It's not a mile and a half. That's another thing. It's only a mile and a quarter. But you notice one thing. There was no horses from the Preakness, which I said when we talked about the Preakness. That would, you have starter allowance horses, maiden horses. It's just to fill it. And by the way, the TV contract is up on that race. And if the people in the Derby aren't going to run in the Preakness, nobody wants the Preakness. And they're talking now, if someone signs a contract, they're going to have to change the time in between races because nobody wants the Preakness. If the winner of the Derby or nobody in the Derby really runs because it's just another race. But,
okay.
But Renegade's been my horse all year. And the only reason why I think he lost the Kentucky Derby, he came out of one hole and no one in 40 years has won. And for him to finish second by a nose was incredible. And I think he's the best horse, but from a price standpoint, if you're going to box those 5 horses, you kind of don't really want him in there. But I think he's going to be there.
Okay.
Hey, I also had an idea for employees that have to have workers come in real early in the morning. I had an idea to give them their. It's like actually have cots on site so people sleep over.
Okay.
And you actually handcuff them to the cot. In the morning, it's like an oldies. You have to put a quarter into the handcuffs to unlock it. I think that's a good idea to get people there on time.
Okay. All right, I like it. Bada bing. Something like that. All right, Scott, good luck. Make a lot of money this weekend.
Make a lot of money. By the way, I didn't realize that Rome is now closed as an OTB hangout, so I think there's Whitesboro, Bridgeport, there's OTB to bet it legally. And, of course, Vernon Down track odds. If you're going to bet a lot, and you want someone to take 10% off.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And go to Vernon and put my bet in.
The Whitesboro place is pretty nice too.
Whitesboro's real good. But I'm just saying from the OTB outlets. I grew up in the Mohawk. I was in Mohawk Valley when everybody had an OTB. Little Falls, Herkimer, and there's no.
They're not around now. I think you can do a lot of it at home now. That's the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly right.
Scott, thanks. Enjoy the weekend. Make some dough. Thank you, man.
We'll do it.
All right. The Utica Blue Sox are playing. I want to give you a little tease on that season, which is up and coming. We'll do that next. Hold tight. And some of these comments on YouTube, we're going to talk about them. They have sent Manansky almost under the console a couple of times, but there's a few in there that are, I think, maybe crossing a line. We'll explain.
Hello, Oneida and Herkimer County Republicans. I'm Charles Potter, your candidate for the 118th Assembly District. I would be honored to earn your support on June 23rd. With 14 years of dedicated service as a county supervisor and the only candidate endorsed by the New York State Conservative Party, experience matters. Please vote for Charles Potter on June 23rd. Early voting starts on June 13th. Paid for by Friends of Charles Potter.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Meet Anthony Constantino, running to represent us in Congress.
First off, you. I see through your game.
Wannabe rapper, wannabe Republican. But he can't rap his way out of reality. He's a lifelong Democrat who helped fund Trump's impeachment. After the George Floyd riots, he called our cops racist and sold Kill the Police stickers. He claims he's America first, but he shipped jobs overseas, even replaced workers with robots. Anthony Constantino, worse than a wannabe. He's a fraud.
And I know just how this ends.
The real conservative in the race? Robert Smullen, a Marine colonel. He fought for our country. Smullen was appointed by President Trump and will fight for the America First agenda. He's the Republican conservative and law enforcement endorsed candidate. On June 23rd, vote Robert Smullen for Congress. Proven patriot, ready to serve.
I'm Robert Smullen, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Robert Smullen for Congress.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. You can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. France is currently trading at over 16% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out $590 if they win soccer's biggest prize. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TURF to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
And a lot of people, when they come in, they'll say, I'm usually much more active, but since I've been in pain, I've had to limit the activities I'm doing.
You're listening to Janelle, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
The next step is getting them in the right arch supports. After walking around with the arch supports, they'll feel much freer and lighter. Our goal is to have that long-term change for them to make sure that they're continuing to notice a difference in their life.
Try them for yourself at the Good Feet store. We're located in New Hartford on Commercial Drive across from Hobby Lobby.
82 million listeners depend on AM radio to always be on, delivering news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports you can trust. AM radio also delivers vital emergency information when you need it most. Text AM to 399-179 and tell Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars. Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Yeah, I get it. Crazy. We're talking a little baseball and the Utica Blue Sox playing at Murnane. And it's the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. Is that right, Davey? And Morgan Spriggs is the broadcaster, the play-by-play, which you can get online. Morgan, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Boom. Everybody's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a female. Yes, you're a female broadcaster. It exists. Mm-hmm. You heard the Yankees?
Yes.
You know. All right. Give us a little preview, Morgan, if you would, on this year's season, which is getting underway.
Yeah, well, we're already 5 games in. This is a team that came off a playoff appearance last year but lost to the eventual champion. They're coming in with a lot of returning players, more than most. So since it's a summer baseball league, a lot of these players are, gearing up for their college seasons, trying to stay in shape and kind of build their skills a little bit. And so this is a squad with a really strong offense and a pitching staff that has a lot of returners from last year and are building up their confidence. Right now they're at 3-2. They just came off a loss to Amsterdam, but next game is going to be at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. A home game will be Saturday at 6:45. So it's going to be really exciting to see what the squad is, and they've gotten off to a good start.
Where are all these players from, by the way?
Well, actually, they're from all around the country, and even one in Canada. A lot of them, of course, are in the New York and New Jersey area. There's one actually from Utica. There's several from the central New York area, New Jersey, of course, which makes sense. A lot of the regional baseball players are coming to the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. There's a player from Honolulu, Hawaii, and there's one from Ontario, Canada.
Wow.
So there's really from all along, but mostly from the New York.
Yeah, so let me, if I'll take a moment here to highlight some of the locals. We've got from Whitesboro, Austin Stokert, Ben Ziskowski, Lucas Tucker, who I believe pitched in the opener. He's from Whitesboro, as a matter of fact. I believe he plays at MVCC as well. Noah Clausen, also from Whitesboro. You've got two from Utica, Colin Skirma and Reese Jancy. As recently as last year, Reese was playing for Proctor, and I had some of his games. He pitches as well. He played first base last year and pitched as well. I believe he's a pitcher for the Blue Sox. Trevor Bailey is from Oneida. Hunter Harmon is from Ithaca. And then, as you mentioned, there's several from New Jersey as well. But literally players from our backyard here. You can go see him now play for the Utica Blue Sox.
Pretty well.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah. And what the key is here is that a lot of these guys are pitchers, and a lot of these guys are returning players. Noah Clausen, as you mentioned, from Whitesboro, he was on Utica last year with a 2.7 K per nine. Austin Stokert was on the team last year. He pitched over 17 innings.
Yeah, it's a very high quality of baseball. It's excellent to get out and take in a game. The field is in phenomenal condition there, and I really encourage everybody to get out and support the Blue Sox. It is there's some rivalries in this league with the teams in Herkimer and up north, Adirondack. Yeah. So it's good baseball.
Morgan, next game is
Saturday. She's
Saturday.
At 6:45.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want everybody to know out there, Morgan?
Just come support the Blue Sox. It's been a lot of fun. We have a great community. We just recently, on Monday morning, we basically had kids from across elementary schools come in on a field trip to support the squad. So there were hundreds and hundreds of elementary school kids just going crazy for the team. And the Blue Sox walked it off that day in 10 innings. That was just a really incredible game. It just goes to show the kind of community support the Blue Sox have.
Where are you from, Morgan? And what are you in college, out of college? What's your deal?
I'm actually in college. I'm from Massachusetts originally, but I go to Ithaca College. I'm a rising senior, and the Park School is obviously an incredible broadcasting school at Ithaca College, and it's really, really fun to kind of hone my craft here in Utica and be with all the amazing interns.
Where do you want to go? I mean, I can't imagine your goal is ending up in Utica.
Well, I mean, it's whatever opportunity arises. Baseball, of course, is something that I love. But just if I'm calling sports, if I'm doing anything, and if I'm, part of a group that gets to deliver, the best sports coverage around, that's really all that matters to me. So wherever I go, I'm fine with. If that is in Utica, that's great. If it's not, that's fine too.
But do you have like a dream job that you're striving for?
My dream job is a stable job, and that's really hard in sports media. I think being with one team and being the voice of the team would be a really, really cool cool thing, like a baseball job. That's obviously a really that's like pie in the sky idea, but this is obviously my belief is that if you're calling sports, something cool is going to happen, like the Kids' Day Out, where the Blue Sox came back down 2 runs in the game. That's cool. Exciting to me. It doesn't matter if it's the Blue Sox or if it's the New York Mets. You know what I mean?
Nice. Well, the Mets, Blue Sox. At times this year, it's been kind of the same. It would be a competitive game at times, but I think they're turning it around. By the way, what you really just said was, I'm not really interested in becoming you losers. with your instability and, broadcasting. I'm looking for a job that's stable, something that has a future, unlike you guys, meaning us. And
are you talking about radio?
Yeah, and I'm probably
I love radio.
Me too. That's the problem.
I will be the radio sports director for Ithaca College next year. So
you
I don't think you guys are losers. In fact, I'll be one of the losers. A lot of that job stability comes on radio. I don't think it has anything to do with the medium.
No, you're absolutely right.
No, Morgan, he's just teasing you.
Yeah,
he's just teasing.
Yeah. Don't. All I'm saying is, if you want to do something and become something, get the hell out of radio. I think that's really what I'm trying to say. Run for your life. I'm kidding. What you're doing is awesome, and glad to see you're very successful, and you're going to be in management, radio management next year. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much. And if you guys want to listen to the Blue Sox, just go on YouTube and type in Utica Blue Sox and go to the live tab. It's as easy as that. You don't have to pay for anything. So the next game will be on Saturday.
All right, Morgan. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
She mentioned
I bet she calls a really good game.
I bet you she does.
Yeah.
I believe they had 7 different schools there for that Monday morning game I talked about. My 10-year-old, the handsomest person to ever throw out a first pitch at a baseball game. He did a great job.
That's right.
I was there. But they had the kids into it with like the chanting in the stands. The place was going rocking.
I wish we had more time to get into everything. We don't. We're almost out of here. There were some comments that we wanted to get into about stuff on YouTube. Read them and debate with yourselves. We're done, unfortunately. Heading into the weekend, which is going to be a beautiful, rainy weekend, I'm afraid. The Good Feet Store, if you have some pain, arch support specialist, the Good Feet Store can help. Walk in with no appointment and get a free fitting and test walk. And again, no appointment is needed. The pain could go away. It's the Good Feet Store, 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. Call 315-999-3910. And right now, Steve Ponte Mazda. A new lease with a Mazda right now. Just go in and talk to Ricky Z and say, let's make your deal my deal. Let's get into a new Mazda. Where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Less is more. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is the story in the jobs report just out this morning.
172,000 non-farm payrolls were added to the economy in May. The estimate was 85,000.
So how is double the hiring than forecast last month less? Fox Business Network Cheryl Cassoni also reports.
April has been revised to 179,000. The original April read was 115, and they're also revising March to 214,000 jobs.
The unemployment rate for May did not change, still 4.3%. They stayed up all night in the Senate approving a controversial funding bill just before 5 o'clock this morning.
The 52 to 47